the source of my cough.
Hello everyone, welcome back. I did that so perfectly timed. Yep, there you go. Hi everybody, I'm your friendly neighborhood Prax. Welcome to the channel. Tonight it is a Sunday night and we're here for some Dragon Age faction one-shots. I have some wonderful players here tonight who have joined for the shenaniganry as we get to see what the Shadow Dragons get up to in Minrathous. But we're going to go around, let everybody introduce themselves, and say who they are, and while you do that, I can please change character names. I can change character names, because these are new characters. So, why don't we start with Jesus? You're muted again. But tonight's just gonna be a tech kind of night, y'all. We're just gonna go with it. Alright. Hey, Pope. Pinch in.
Hey. Time to pinch. Hey everybody, Pope here. Pope World Build all over the internets. I am exceedingly excited for tonight's one shot. We'll all get to meet for the first time Claudius Horatia. I am interested to see how he handles everything, consider where, when we are, and what he can do.
Yep, I'm sure that will be fine. Everything will be great. Hey, Hawk.
All right, can you hear me?
Yep.
Okay, I had to switch mics. Don't know what's going on. My Nano decided it doesn't want to work anymore, so I have to go off my headphones. So anyway, I'm Hawkeye, Kentucky Hawkeye, and I'm back here tonight. Prax didn't run me off, so I must have done a good enough job to stick around, and I will be playing a character by the name of Jubal Asher.
Yeah.
Indeed. And
Can you hopefully okay, fantastic. Hi guys, this is Jesus, what I originally tried to say, known as Arvandus over the interwebs, and today I am playing an individual known as Arthras.
There we go. We're going to have fun, everybody, because tonight we are going to the grand city of Minrathous. Hi everyone, I'm your friendly neighborhood Prax, and I get to run this shenaniganry. Thank you for that resub, Hawk. I appreciate you. We are 57 months. Wow. We appreciate that. So we are here to have some fun. Again, we are 5 years after the Exalted Council. Minrathous is a city that is always on the verge of something. Success, failure, utter collapse, total destruction, massive miracle on the streets. To quote another grand bard, if you can make it there, you can make it anywhere. I saw that look, Pope, and it had to be done.
It just, that happened at the same time that I view the image of where Lissa would be, and I am concerned, pained.
You know, deal. But Minrathous is the capital of the Tevinter Imperium, a place of contrasts. At the top you have the Magisterium and the Altus. Mages, more importantly, human mages. Then you have the Laity, the Soparati, and at the bottom, there's an entire class of slaves. Content warning for Tevinter includes, but is not limited to, slavery, blood magic, horrible cults that involve non-consensual blood magic, murder, death, magic that exists to fuck with people's brains on the regular, again, blood magic, and again, creepy slavery. Wanted everyone to make sure that they are prepared for possible things that can be discussed in tonight's game. If any of these things are not good for you, we will not be upset if you have to step away, because this is Thetis and we understand. When we talk about sunshine on a grim, dark fantasy, that is Dragon Age. But Thetis, in particular the city of Minrathous, is always in flux. But the number of mages that live here, and the mage supremacy that rules. The city is difficult, but a jewel. Everything is touched by magic, even those who cannot cast it themselves. But the shadow dragons are here. It's been 5 years since the Exalted Council. One Magister Dorian Pavis was one of the 2 leaders of the Cernai, a political party within the Magisterium, pushing for change quite aggressively. The other was Mayvaris Talani. May, unfortunately, ran afoul of political opponents and was forced to surrender her magisterium seat. That didn't mean she gave up the beliefs of the Lucernai. Instead, she took them underground, and with the help of a masked vigilante, quite literally, the man runs around in a tricorn hat and a veil over his face. They started a group known as the Shadow Dragons. Individuals looking for real change in Tevinter, formating slave rebellions, aiding those who wish to escape various horrible blood cults, arranging the support of others, and doing what they can to improve the conditions of the city and the citizens. Well, not just citizens. That's an important distinction here. Because in a city and a country like Minrathis and Tevinter, citizen is a very, very limited term. But Tevinter has other problems. A 4-decade-long stalemate war with the Kunari over Saharan. And now we have 3 new individuals meeting at an out-of-the-way bar in Ducktown called the Lamplighter. Not as high-end as the Swan, but not a dive by any means. A quiet place for working folk to get a drink at the end of the day. Quiet place where not too many questions are asked if, say, someone sat at a table for a couple hours waiting for someone else. As long as they kept ordering an appropriate amount of drinks to go with it. So this leads me to my first question. Who's been posted up at this corner table overlooking the sheer cliffs down to the docks?
Go ahead.
No.
Go right
Oh,
ahead.
okay. The camera zooms in on an individual sitting there looking over the docks. It's an individual fully decked out in plate armor with a bastard sword on his side, what looks like 3 throwing axes across his chest, and just fully enclosed in... Question, for this particular bar, if an elf was there, would that be out of place or no?
No, you're in Docktown. It wouldn't be inherently mentioned.
Okay. Then, yeah. Then without seeing their plate armor, but with his helmet off, is a surprisingly beefy looking elf, more so than usual. A guy that looks like he does push-ups with one hand for fun. They're drinking a large tankard of some sort of drink that you're pretty sure could knock out most people. Just there sitting, waiting, just looking at the docks. Of lightish skin with dark cropped hair.
Mm-hmm. I have a question for everyone playing at home. Vaseline? Valicine, excuse me, is what it's actually pronounced. Does our elf have any facial tattoos?
Ooh.
Of a very distinctive variety that are tied to certain non Tevinter variety.
Ooh. Okay.
Do we have any blood markings? Are we a Dale?
You're asking me or the audience?
You.
Oh, me. Okay. I am not a Dale. I once was a Tinvinter slave who was able to escape after, of course, killing my master. He got very, very, very unlucky.
I mean, there's a grand history of that in Dragon
Mm-hmm.
Age. I'm assuming you had to do it physically with like a
Oh,
sword instead of,
yeah. Oh, no, no. No, no. My character did not have magic per se at the time, although he did discover some connections with the spirits around him later on.
Yeah. But it didn't, you didn't turn blue and stick your hand into his chest.
No, sadly, no.
Hmm.
Wait. Oh, you're trying to make me friend rare. So I apologize.
I was
I
making
forgot.
references to Fenris, yeah.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. You're right. Sorry. Sorry. Do you want me to be blue now? I can be blue
No,
now if you
no,
want.
you don't have to be blue. That's
Okay.
an entirely separate character, and only
Okay.
Fenris is gonna have that
Okay.
problem.
Fair enough. All right, then I'm just a slave that killed him with a sword, not through his chest. Although that would have been badass to do, 100%. But I'm just an elf, just a dude with a
It's,
sword.
it's fair.
Mhm.
And the people at the Lamplighter would not look at you askance, per se. A couple patrons might be, well, racist assholes,
Mhm.
but that's in any bar.
Yeah. And
That's
I
gonna
doubt, yeah, I doubt they're inclined to say anything to the guy in plate armor with a massive sword to his side.
pretty much.
Yeah.
Usually, they're not quite. This is not the kind of dive bar where someone will get that level of courage.
Mm-hmm.
Mostly because the bartenders will cut them off before they get there.
Mm-hmm.
But who do we see approaching after, and when Arthas has been there for about 2 hours?
Sure. Yeah, that's again, enough time has passed for a mildly dramatic entrance,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
but not a truly dramatic entrance, which is the important difference.
You're also at the Lamplighter, not the Swan.
It helps. Uh, so yeah, the cat is dragging in Claudius. He is in a well tailored, um, uh, somewhat out of place. How did he get it? Um, Probably contraband. Uh, Antivan cut suit. It is in a more hues of garnets and a deep sapphire blue. He walks with a staff, the top of which think the squared off like table leg, but inset is on each facing is a black sapphire. Um, is shorter height than most other staves that are used by mages across Thedas. Uh, just high enough that if he wants to, he can rest his elbow atop it
Mm-hmm.
and have a good lean. Uh, but yeah, he's human. Um, Looks like somebody again, aside from like the good clothes, the nice staff, um, the lack of care to his features brings about the idea that someone found him in a ditch and decided not to leave him there.
Mm-hmm. But well, have seen Arthas, at least. Do you
Mhm.
know the elf with the sword?
I know that he is one that I should always, always be polite to. He's faster than me. He hits harder than me. And he has body counts, plural.
Which I keep telling you about over and over again. I've killed this many people today. I just wanted you to know.
And then if you give him enough drink, he tells you about the other body counts.
So you can see Arthas posted up at the corner booth
Mhm.
table.
And yeah, and I spy him.
Mm-hmm.
Just wave my tankard.
Sort of a wave of acknowledgement, and then like making way over. First, the staff slides into the booth, and then Claudius just slides in and immediately rests his head on the side of the booth and is contemplating whether or not he can get away with napping.
Hard night last night.
Is it not a hard night?
Fair.
Do you know how many people they dragged in and I had to heal quickly? That sucked.
It did. But look on the bright side. You're not the one getting cut that required healing at the time.
6 of one, half dozen of the other. At the end of the day, I still end up tired.
Fair enough.
Wait,
Mm.
it's the next day.
Yes,
So
it
the
is.
end of 2 days. God.
Mm-hmm. Plenty of time to rest when you're dead.
Don't get my hopes up.
And who is the last person to enter our...
Last person to enter in as opposed to the previous, looks a little bit more lively and a little bit lighter on his feet than the others. He's got a fairly decent set of clothes on, but you can tell that even though he has himself dressed looking nice, he's got it over some leather armor and stuff like that. And instead of a big nasty sword slung to his side, over his shoulder instead of a bow, he has a lute. And he has a penny whistle flute in his front pocket. He is a bard. He has been out in the different spots in the city, set up, and he has been playing his music, whether it's local folk songs, his own compositions, or anything he can make up on the fly, on demand. And he's had a not so decent day as far as collections, but he is tired, he is hot, he needs something to soothe his throat before it gets sore from all of the singing he has done today, and he sees 2 familiar faces and works his way back to the booth.
Welcome, Bard.
Hi, Jubal.
And I hope everybody's day was at least twice as wonderful as mine.
It was eventful.
The drink specials for today are the pear cider and that brown stuff that they keep getting in every week.
Oh, yes, the brown stuff. I have to avoid that. It kind of clogs my vocal cords.
More for me, then.
Feel free. I don't need to have my body bogged down with stuff like that. After all, I have music to play and fans to satisfy.
Huh, huh, huh.
So, the waitress, and I use that term distinctively because there are barmaids, there are
Mhm.
barkeeps, and then there are older human women of indeterminate age, somewhere between the age of 40 and dead,
Uh-huh.
who are waitresses. Who can walk up to a table, look at the three of you, kind of slightly cocks her head, snorts at Claudius, looks at the other two. All right. Well, that'll be a pear, an ale, and whatever that fruity thing is that you seem to think is cool. I'll be back.
Oh,
Mm,
coffee as stiff as you can make it, please.
there's this long pause wherein the judgment of this waitress is implied but unstated that you do not need coffee, you need sleep. You do not. I will bring you something with which to sleep, and then you will feel better.
No,
Indeed.
no, 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 no. I can tell your contempt, but I am certain, I am certain because I caught them hiding from me that there is going to be an individual who comes to us soon with work. It is not a vision, it is a certainty of one's lot in life.
Oh no, he's gone poetic. You need bring him the coffee quickly.
Yes, leave the take your coffee and leave the poetry to me. And besides, the fruity stuff helps keep me inspired.
Sure.
Hey, it gets him coin. No one should stand in the way of a man and getting his coin unless it's unethical.
Fair.
I guess it depends whether you consider groupies unethical or not.
Of the many things in Minrathous, groupies are perfectly ethical,
Oh,
unless they
comparison.
practice blood magic, in which case, death to groupies.
Mm.
Well, well, I'm sure there would be a very appropriate statement for you to make if it was relevant. And a figure just kind of slides into, seated away, facing away from you, uh, Arth, uh, Claudius, with his back to you on the side in the other facing booth, right? So like you're facing Arthas.
Behold, the judgment has arrived.
Oh, I don't bring judgment. That ain't my shtick. You want somebody who judgment, you gotta go hang around the chantry. Talk to them. They're all religious and shit.
No, I am not allowed near the chantry. We have been through this.
I still want to know what you did that involved you getting banned and rats.
It involved a very wonderful evening with a number of Orlesians and a couple of the altars.
Oh.
Why'd you
Well,
want Orlesians? That just seems
Because,
uncomfortable.
no, they are versed, practiced, and easily convincible that this is not blasphemy.
so it was your idea.
Ooh, I need
All
to
of the
take
good ones
notes.
are.
I need to take notes. This could make a great song.
No, do not publicize my exploits. That will only get me banned
You should-
from further chantries.
You should title it Chaos in the Chantry. A Lover's Tale.
I thought Varric Tethris already wrote that. It involved
Oh.
bombings.
Oh, right. Yeah, he did write that one, didn't he? You might want a different title then. Very different. You don't want too associated.
No, I can. I think I am capable of coming up with my own,
All right, that's fine. But if you ever need suggestions, I have a few ideas.
such
Honestly,
as
I've had
"Ode
a.
to an Orlesian Night."
Ooh, that's a good one. That's a good one. But you know what? I'm styling myself like a upcoming writer. I have a few ideas I want to pass by you. I think I can put something together.
Let me give you a bit of advice.
Mm,
Practice with sonnets first, then build up to full verse.
fair point. What's a sonnet?
My point exactly.
Hmm.
I mean, it could be worse. He could be using doggerel.
Hmm.
I have a
Hmm.
delivery to make. Or more accurately, you guys have a delivery to make, and I have an individual who requires my further attention. So, enjoy your coffee. Certain snake is going to pay for it.
Oh dear.
Hmm.
And if all else fails, don't forget, Tarquin's around the corner if you need him.
Why don't you just, when you leave and do your mysterious thing, just send him in, send him over.
Of course he can't just come over. He can't. An upstanding Templar like him being seen with ragabouts like y'all?
I resemble that statement.
I mean, he could be coming to discipline me about something involving chantry or magi or any number of things.
I mean, considering what you
Yes,
just said, discipline would be chopping off your head, most likely.
yes, and I don't think I've achieved
Oh,
enough fame for him to come around as a fan yet, so that
Hmm.
would not
no,
work either.
we we keep to the stories that the Templars keep coming to chastise me, and somehow, and this explains a number of things, I'm able to pay them off, which is why I'm constantly broke.
That fits.
It's not the worst story I've ever heard. But, here you go. Speaking of Orlesians, there's a. Well, oh no. He might be an Orlesian, he might be a Ferelden. Tall fella. Big pointy stick.
Oh.
You, need to go relieve him of his, burden and bring said burden to us. He, carried it faithfully all the way here from, wherever the fuck the Orlesians hang out. With that Winter
Is
Palace shit.
oh, Captain.
Yeah, they keep changing it back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. I don't even care. But apparently he, used to work for perhaps an individual with a slight, physical impediment to his left arm.
Hmm. Interesting.
I'm too tired for riddles.
The Lavellan sent an Orlesian with a something that a viper needs.
Ah, okay.
All right.
You could have just said that. Sure.
So and that's this stick we gotta grab.
No, I wouldn't grab his stick. He might get offended.
Ah, fair enough.
He's a Ferelden, right? Remember that shit?
All right,
Yeah,
yeah.
no. We don't grab Ferelden's. We let the Ferelden's grab us.
Yep. All right.
Also, don't piss off his dog.
Oh no, no. Even I know that. Not don't mess with the Ferelden dog.
Like, and all of a sudden, like Claudia's eyes actually open. Puppy,
Puppy, they'll rip your face off.
still puppy though.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I'll face down 5 men before I face down a Ferelden dog. Those things, those bites, those bites.
Bari are delightful. They're absolute sweethearts. I don't know what you're talking.
I still have the scars. There's a shadowed look upon his eyes. He just stares off into the distance.
Perhaps I might be able to hit a high enough tone on the flute to calm it down. We'll see.
Just be sweet to them. You're not a threat. If you're not a threat, there's no problem.
Mm-hmm. And then during this conversation, your friend, associate, individual who you didn't actually see has made themselves scarce as the waitress comes back, and there is now an ale in front of Arthas, a mixed fruit beverage that is non-alcoholic in front of Jubal, and a pear cider, and instead of a coffee, a very interesting potion bottle next in front of Claudius.
This does not have the warmth or cruelty or smell of awakening that is coffee. What is this?
That is much better for you in your current state, my dear.
I am going to do as told, because if I usually resist, that ends up in more yelling. And now we actually have a better view of his hand. His hands are actually clad in elaborate gauntlets. Leather and bronze, polished. And the gauntlet has a great deal of etching over it, and empty socket for a rune. And just pops the cap and just downs whatever it is that she told him to down.
She combined a greater mana potion with a rejuvenation potion.
Wow.
Ooh.
Muy
She is-
caliente.
She is a master of her craft.
As I said,
Deventer Red Bull.
this is a true waitress who you might tell her what you think you need, but she will always know what the answer of what you actually need, hun. And nobody
Okay.
has their own names anymore.
We have found a solution. Now chase her. Because that was very enlightening.
You better leave a big tip. That is perfection.
The big tip is I no longer ask her questions.
Fair enough.
That might be the best thing she hears all day.
The package that was left, small, paper wrapped, butcher paper and twine, is kind of Claudius. Now that you're more than aware, shall we say, is right at your left boot, right? Because hold on. Claudius
It would be the
slid
right
in.
boot.
Yes, Claudius slid in.
Mm-hmm. Then me.
The guy was behind me,
Yeah, the guy was behind you.
so it's probably the right boot.
Yeah, I just wanted to remember. I couldn't remember if Jubal sat next to you or next to Arthas.
I'm next to him. Yeah, not Arthas. The other. I'm
Claudius.
with next to Claudius.
Okay, then it's next to Claudius's boot, on the outside.
Okay. So lift said package, put it on the table. Well, it's not ticking. It's not glowing. So that should be fine.
No, and it is sealed on it's wrapped in butcher paper and twine, and the twine has got a wax seal at the bottom with the artistic rendering for the shadow dragons, which sounds very impressive, but is really just a cobra coiled around itself.
I mean, there are organizations with worse symbols.
Mm-hmm.
That's why everyone has a cobra on their overlay.
Nice.
Nice.
But again, and you can feel, Claudius, you would feel the magic that's in this seal. It's designed to enchanted, really, to taste the magic of whoever is around who attempts to open it, and if it is not the designated recipient, to burn itself.
Oh, it's a variational warding ring.
Yes.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Self-destruction can be necessary.
Yeah. Wards are, once you start, really getting into them, can be made to do practically anything, depending on trigger.
Mm-hmm. So it's a little package about like an A6 size paper.
Okay. So
A little bit thicker, like a 5x6 moleskin.
I take it
Mm-hmm.
that the two of you were paying attention, and we have gentlemen from Orlais. We need to retrieve something to give to our big important mask wearing friend. And that this is either payment or also goes with to our mask wearing friend.
Should we open it here in the tavern or find
No,
somewhere
it's
private?
No.
It's meant for a very specific individual.
Okay.
I do not need to set this place on fire
Mm.
again.
I thought they forgave you about that.
After I did 2 weeks of hard labor, yes.
Mm.
Yes, the only reason people should be storming in this place is storming in to hear me play, not storming out to avoid disaster.
Fair enough. All right then. Where do we start?
There's a small sketched map on a piece of paper that was kind of like tucked inside, because it's butcher paper but then wrapped in twine, so there's like a little piece of paper right tucked under the edge of the twine so you can kind of pull it out. You can see it's got a little map on it.
I'm guessing we are here and our target is here.
In the catacombs.
Of course, the catacombs.
Okay, but why though?
When do they ever bring us to somewhere nice? When has that ever happened?
Because places that are nice are places where you can be snuck up on and found, whereas in the catacombs, it's easier to hide things.
No. I was sent to deliver a package to a nice investigations lady, and all I had to do was go to the fish stall. That was lovely.
At least one of us had a nice time. Mine usually involves quite a bit of, stabby.
Well, not all of us have the same talents. Some people's talents are mostly carrying things and turning broken things into less broken things.
Fair enough. All right. Should we head out as he starts putting on his helmet?
Yeah. Things won't deliver themselves.
Yes.
I've tried to come up with that spell, and it did not work.
I remember the screams. We took an hour trying to take you out of that thing.
No. The one that was the most successful was how the chantry got wrapped.
Oh.
Yes, that was quite a mess, wasn't it?
It was a mess that they only suspected me of. They never proved anything.
All right. Let's head out.
Yes, the sooner we get out, get this done, the sooner I can hit the streets, and maybe I can entertain a few romancing couples or two and they'll get some bigger tips than what I got earlier. So let's get going.
Fair enough. Okay, now that's kicking in. Okay. Oh,
Mhm.
that's nice.
Yeah. Rejuvenation potion and lyrium potions combined. Basically, a mage's cure. So you do have a map of the catacombs. Well, more accurately, you have a designation within the catacombs, and the catacombs span underneath the city of Manrathis, which is built into the cliffside, down to the docks in this, well, bowl of a harbor. And down where you are in Docktown, it's always raining. Even when it's sunny, it's raining. A side effect of the magics that keep the Archon's palace floating above us all. The high town walkways and roads span across, suspended in air. But inside the cliffs and under this around, there's a warren of tunnels and catacombs. No one has mapped all of it. But the question is, have any of you been to the area depicted on this particular map? And to answer that, I'm going to need you all to roll me a cunning test.
Ooh.
If you have a
Cunning.
focus in this, you could use it.
Hmm. I do not, so I'm just gonna roll. That is a.
I-
Yeah, 15.
Doubt arcane lore is a particular cunning focus that applies.
No,
sorry,
I would
13.
not. No, unfortunately. Okay.
Okay, so 14.
So Arthas is a 13, Claudius is a 14, Jubal
Jubal is a 15.
is a 15. So the three of you all pass. Know vaguely where this particular section of the catacombs is. It's to the western edge. Well, no, sorry, rewind. I have to reorient myself. Eastern side arm of the bowl of the harbor of Manrathis. Northeastern. Remembering, of course, where Manrathis is on the inlet that makes up Tevinter, the majority of Tevinter. There's a. It doesn't have an immediate entrance point. You would have to find. You could think of at least two that you could make your way through to get there. One is more easily traversed.
Okay.
The
But-
other is more physically difficult. If it's more easily traversed, more people know about it.
Okay, so when we're talking difficult, there's degrees of difficulty. There's like I hope you stretched today versus spelling out the name of God. There are degrees.
This degree is Prax's "oh fuck, I hate the platforming in this game" level of difficulty.
Hmm.
So for our sakes, dubious at best.
It is not the pathway that I was asked to do a rather bizarre concert in, I take it.
No, that seems to be the one that's more known.
Yes, I've been
so-
in that one several times.
So we can go to the known, but risk encountering people we do not want to encounter and force a fight, or go to a more unknown and risk, I don't know, falling a couple of times, perhaps to our
No,
doom.
no. Well, Doom, yes. Falling only a couple of times. No, it's falling once to Doom.
That's the difficulty we're talking about here. Okay.
Yeah.
So what is the vote? I vote. Well, I'm always down for fighting, so the lesser route, the easier route might be better. But you two might not be inclined.
No. Thanks to fine wait step. I can avoid some trouble and make it so that you all are better at the violence. And hopefully, by employing those magics, I do not have to call upon my not as deep internal reserves or the spirits to put you back together.
Mm. Jubal, your vote?
Well, I have things up my sleeve, figuratively and literally, that I can do if we need. So I'm not afraid if we run into things. But if you prefer to take the less traveled road, I will not be frosted by it.
You are
So,
the one that is in the most mobile of outfits and the second most fit among us. I'm not surprised that you're fine with traversing doom.
Because it'll make such a great song and story once we've completed it.
so the vote, if I'm understanding it, Jubal says less traveled. Claudius, more
Traveled.
traveled. Traveled. I guess I'm the deciding vote. Traveled it is.
Yay!
So you choose to take the path more traveled, and that
Yes.
shall make all the difference.
I don't like the way she said that. Really don't like the way she said that.
You, you. Here's the thing, though. I have played enough games with Prax where I know I'd rather face combat than skill challenges. Has flashbacks in Witcher.
Oh no.
Somebody clip that because it's a true story. Okay. Oh god, somebody clip that.
Yeah. It's called Pope's Got a Pretty Good Scouting Report.
Yep. No, I think it's called Pope Has Trauma.
That really could be a segment on this show.
Look, there's a whole reason why there's this emote is existing.
Yeah, it's not just feel sniper, it's also wait, that's a femoral artery.
Yeah, okay. So the path more traveled is a slightly out of the way but still easily known off of one of the side docks nearest the Threads Market. And no one is going to go into the Thread Market. At least, not today, I don't think. But it's a side little passage. The opening of which is a large and angular. There's another little side passage off of the thoroughfare that perhaps a number of people from the docks are using to get further up into the higher sections of Docktown. Closer indeed to a certain pawn shop. But this area, you kind of take a left and then a right, and you've left the more frequently traversed sections. This is not quite what everyone's using as a fast, shall we say, shortcut. Instead, it's a slightly more worn down, but at the same time, no obvious piles of debris, occasional dust, but more from falling and shifting rock than time and accumulation. You can see marks where people have even today traversed this path. and in front of you is a large double door, 20 feet tall, angled sharply like an alpine roof. So the actual height of the standard height of the door is about 8 feet, and then the additional, or excuse me, about 10 feet, and then the additional 10 is the sharply angled point. Two heavy brass handles, one on either side, adorn it. And it stands in front of you. And you know the pathway that you have to go through is in front.
Okay. Guys, just give me a minute, real quick. I've got an inkling about things. I'm gonna cast a spell.
Mm-hmm.
Because I sense trouble will be afoot soon, I'm gonna cast Spell Wisp.
Oh, a wisp.
Ooh.
The first wisp.
Ah.
Yeah. TN was 11. I got,
Cool.
Oh,
got
you're
19.
with a 19, you're fine.
Yeah. I will, and that is a creation spell, so I'll only spend 2 of my mana on that.
Mm-hmm.
And then, like, I'm guessing this is like evening.
Well, you were supposed to meet your contact in the lamplighter later in the afternoon, so you're probably approaching early to evening by this point.
Yeah, no, I'll use my
But you are
creation
underground.
creation talent to, like, I'll have the wisp that just makes my magic better, and then I'm going to call upon my understanding of creation magic to make an illuminary wisp. On essentially, I have angel and devil over each shoulder, or this kind wisp and more glowing wisp.
When in doubt, there's a wisp for that.
Which, the nice thing is, it gives a nice soft glow to everything within like 10 yards.
Now coming to you in Wisp stereo.
Well, one makes it so all my spells are better. The other one makes it so I can see.
Fair.
But you have a door in front of you.
How filthy is the area around the door?
No, not really. I
Damn.
mean, there's some wear or tear, but again, this is the road more traveled.
Athras, you think you can handle?
Athra steps forward and starts opening the door.
Cool. Can you make me a strength check? Just
Sure.
strength. And if you have anything that you think, focus on anything that you think would be appropriate here.
I think I wrote this down just to be sure. Yep. Okay.
And be sure to use your leg, save the arm strength when we need it later.
You know what? Fair enough. Yes, I do have strength. I do have a focus on might.
Yeah, that works.
Yep. So 1 second. Lost my screen. There we go. So it would be this. Whatever this is, +2. 14. Oh, that's a
14.
roll. Low for me, but yeah, 14.
14 is good enough. As you reach out for the handle and kind of push downward, you feel that slight resistance of a door, of a metal door in a underground catacomb that is very close to salt water that is used enough but hasn't been oiled in millennia. So it's not like it's locked or even damaged. It's just stiff. As you push down, you're gonna have to put, that push down and then twist and then pull at the same time to hold everything in place. And the door itself is heavy. It looks like wood and banded with metals of some sort. But this close, you can also see the etched runes inside of it, the marks of magic upon it. Non-active at the moment. But it creaks loudly and
People didn't-
scrapes the stone floor below your feet.
If people didn't know we were here, they'd know now.
If people are waiting in ambush, I'd rather them, not be incredibly impatient. That way, they might, try and talk things out as opposed to just shoot us on sight.
Yeah. All right. Sword first.
Sword first. Do you have any source of light, sir?
Me.
We have a mage. He's in the back. He does magic things. I have a sword and a shield. That's about the extent of my lighting.
Okay, but this leads to my question. What is the area of light caused by the wispy friends?
Let me pull up the wording precisely.
Mm-hmm.
By the wisp, it is a 10-yard radius centered around my left shoulder.
10 yards. That's
Yep.
huge.
Wow.
It's a
That
10-yard
is-
radius.
Yep.
That's a
Jesus.
20-yard diameter.
Mhm.
That is what you get for novice creation magic.
Jesus.
Cool. So you're shiny as fuck, but you can see.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
And so
You're
can
more.
Arthas. And so can
Mhm.
Jubal. And so can everyone else around you.
Yep.
Yes.
You're more in the spotlight that I'm supposed to be when I'm performing.
Hey, I need to be able to see if that wound is infected.
All right, shall we move forward?
How are you proceeding?
Me in front.
I suppose I will be next.
I'll bring up the rear with all
Yeah.
the light.
Mhm.
There's plenty. There's like 10-yard radius.
Protect the mage.
Mm-hmm.
More importantly, is this a quiet approach? Is it...
Have we been
Stealthy?
quiet about anything so far?
I didn't think so, but I thought I would
He's
ask.
got full armor on. How quiet can he be with that?
I mean, I put all my talent points into armor, so I'm technically don't have a penalty for wearing it. I'm that good.
Yeah, if you put all in,
Yeah.
I know that
Yeah.
that was the last
So
one.
we could try to stealth through.
I mean, if you want to try,
We can try.
But then again, we are in a 10-yard bubble.
yeah, we are, for all intents and purposes, playing in a high school football game.
So you know what? I vote we just not rush, but just walk forward, just looking around us, making sure nothing's trying to ambush us. There's no way we can be stealthy.
Yeah, true.
All right.
Venture forth.
Just
Then,
like
can I get a perception and any focus you might want to use?
Okay.
okay,
That's a 10 for me. Ooh.
this does not involve people, so
Oh, where's my stunt point sheet?
I got a 10.
I got a 10.
The bard is 13 with 4 stunt points.
Ooh, nice.
Um,
All right. So, is there anything I can use to make this easier for us?
Yeah, you can do exploration stunts, I think.
mhm.
That's what I'm looking at right now.
Yep.
And that you've got 4 points, which means you
Yeah.
actually have options.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
And I believe bard is a rogue specialization, correct?
Yes, that is correct.
So you should have the skill too. That makes me wonder.
Yes. I can get that at a discount.
Mhm.
If memory serves me correct.
Yep, at 1 instead of 2.
Yeah. So I will do that in order to see if there's anything around that we needed that is in any way threatening towards us.
Okay, so you can roll me a second perception,
Perception.
investigation.
Okay. All right.
12. So you're going to be able to ask me 3 questions that I will answer truthfully that I will give you in addition to the perception that you already succeeded on previously. So as you push the door open, you can see the small marks of people having been through here before. The tunnel gives way very quickly from a carved and artistic representation to a much more natural cavern, although the ground is still tiled more than just natural dirt. You don't hear or see anyone other than the 3 of you in the near immediate environment.
All right.
The
Do
darkness is heavy.
Do I see any signs that someone else is been in here recently?
Define recently.
Recently, let's say within the past 5 days.
Yes. I will give you for free that you could even say within the past 12 hours.
Within 12 hours. So there are footprints that do not have much dust cover in them.
There's also not a lot of dust on this anyways. It's like an actively used passage, so right? So there is a little bit, right? Because it just happens, but not what you would expect from a disused passage.
Okay. Do I note any places ahead of us that could be easily to ambush with?
As you kind of look down the passageway, you see a couple little darkened corners where it looks like perhaps there's a either a branching path off to one side or maybe an alcove, something that the light that's shining down the passage isn't going into because of the way the walls of the passage bounce back at you, right? Like you can see those void spaces where something is off to one side or the other. You see 2 on your right and 1 on your left further down.
Okay. I'm going to point those out to Arthurus as we continue on.
Yep.
So he can be ready.
Yep.
As well.
And I'm ready.
And you have 1 last question.
Okay, what else should I ask at this point? Okay, that's being a little familiar. I'm going to look up and see if there's anything floating or hiding or hovering above us that might be of any concern.
Not in the immediate vicinity.
Okay.
But you definitely see like the catacombs themselves above you. You see open cave work above you.
Okay. But no imminent threat as of yet. Okay. All right. Looks like we're clear for now, but we need to be ready in case there's something in those alcoves up there.
All right.
Okie
Yeah. And I will start walking, kind of holding my hands like this up against my abdomen here for reasons that may or may not become needed.
Useful. That. Arthas, you're in the front still?
Yes.
Cool. You are leading the charge forward. Are you investigating these alcoves or offshoots as you come to them?
Yeah, I take a quick glance just to make sure there's nothing obvious that is going to say, hey, pounce, attack.
One of them is just like a very just kind of oversized, perhaps, literally an alcove. There's some light debris in there, papers from one of the paper sellers. Looks like a romance serial if you take a quick look at it. The second one on the right is the entrance to another passage, but if you just look down it, you can see that it's kind of collapsed about 15-20 feet in front of you, right? Like enough that there is a passage still, but as you look down it, you're like, yeah, that's definitely collapsed. coming to the left-hand passage, you see a pile of crates with a very distinctive mark on them.
Mm-hmm.
What kind of mark?
You are all from Minrathis, or
Yeah.
have lived here for a while,
Mm-hmm.
even if you are not from here. You could all roll me cunning, and you could use any lore that you think is particularly useful.
That is a 6.
I will actually use the arcane lore this time.
Mm-hmm.
19.
Nice.
16 with 4
And
stun
the
points.
bard with all the stun points.
The bard keeps getting all the stun points.
And
I'm
Arthur's
actually
in-
here for this.
And Arthur's gonna back like, that's a box.
Yeah, but both Claudius and you only needed a 10, Arthas. Both Claudius and Jubal, you're are kind of distracted. Arthas looking out, making sure that there's no one around you. Both Claudius and Jubal, you recognize the smuggler marks of the threads.
Oh, that's contraband.
Oh, wonderful.
Eh,
Probably do not want to touch those.
No. Leave them be.
Hmm.
Well, can't entirely help myself.
But
Claudius.
with a
But-
19, Claudius, and you use specifically arcane lore,
Yeah.
you know that the threads are very well known for cursing their stuff.
Yeah. I'm not going to do anything that interacts with the crates.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just tempted to, we're in the catacombs with all the stone.
Mm-hmm.
Stone that I can manipulate like clay with my mind.
Claudius.
Are you doing what
We're
I
on a
think you're
mission,
doing?
Claudius. We can do this on the way back.
Okay, if we can do it on the way back then.
We'll do it on the way back, then we can run. All right?
Okay.
All right. I
I just
Keep-
want to make them a lovely
Don't
little
make me poke
gazebo
you.
for
I
the
will poke you with my
crates.
sword. I will poke you with my sword.
No. Soft bits stay inside.
You want to keep it that way, keep walking.
Okay.
You can hide it from them if you want on the way back.
No, I'm going to make it festive.
All right, we head on.
You head on down the passageway. It's kind of twists and turns and comes to a couple places where it forks, but with the map and the general idea of where you're supposed to be meeting this contact, you can find yourself along the correct passage, and it's another hour, maybe hour and a half of traversing the catacombs before you hear, with those previous perception rolls, two things. Off to your right, you hear muttered High Tavine in an offshoot passageway. And to your left, you hear running water.
We're supposed to go according to the map.
Well, technically you're supposed to go straight ahead, but there's a small problem with that.
What's the problem?
There ain't no bridge here no more.
That could
Let me-
be a problem.
Let me ask another question. How much earthworks are around here? How much earth, stone, sand is around here?
Depends on what you want to move it and where you're going to move it from, because it's a cavern, and you're supposed to have a bridge that traverses about 30 feet of cavern space that's open to the other side. So, in theory, how much of the wall do you want to bring down? to build this bridge in front of you. Which is
30
possible.
feet.
I'm just saying.
You said 30 feet?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so
Arthris goes to Jubal. Oh God, he's thinking again.
I
um,
have an idea if his thinking doesn't work,
Hmm.
and I start to reach for my loot.
I could make a bridge. I'm just going to be a little tired afterwards.
Okay. Before you think
Question,
of doing that,
Prex. Is there any kind of wood or soft ground on the other side? 30
Mm,
at the 30 feet
yeah, where you would need where the passageway
where
continues in
we
front of
need to
you,
need to continue to go.
and it you don't see any wood. Like you've seen the occasional like barrel and small crates and
Yeah,
wooden boxes
specifically
around.
looking for something that I could shoot an crossbow bolt into
Uh,
securely.
I mean, you could try and just shoot it into the side of the cavern.
Okay. All right. I'm going to pull out a crossbow bolt,
Mm-hmm.
tie onto it my standard 50 feet of rope,
Yep.
flip over my loot, which the flip side has built into it a light crossbow.
hmm.
And I'm going to shoot that bolt with the rope attached, try to get it to stick there so we have a way to traverse across the space.
I thought we chose this path not to do platforming.
What I can do with this case is that's a guideline. Instead of having to move a great deal of earth, what I can do is move a small section, like a balance beam, and we can use that to help get across.
Will you still be very tired after doing that?
No, because there's less mass involved.
Hmm. Okay.
So Hawk. I need you to make the roll for the attack.
Okay.
The DC to hit is going to be lower. The question is it going to anchor, right?
Is it going to stick? Yeah, that's my concern.
Mhm.
All right, here we go. Don't think so.
The answer is it doesn't.
Oh my God.
All right, I will pull it using
I-
the rope. I will pull the bolt
But
back.
technically,
and
this
I have
is a
it-
botch.
Oh
Yep,
no.
okay. So does it destroy the bolt?
So what you do is you fire, and instead of hitting the side of the cavern that you were aiming at, where you wanted to hit to
Yep.
give you the anchor point,
Mm-hmm.
you hit the passage and it keeps going
Going. Yeah.
into the passage in
Along
front
with
of you.
the rope.
Yeah.
And it's
Along
now
with
out of
the
reach.
rope. And
That
he
answers
just
that question.
keeps going.
So,
So you were out a rope and a bolt.
I suggest, because we don't want you tired in case we need your services to keep us together, we should see if there's an alternate path.
Okay, so creepy muttering in a language I half understand, or running water.
Running water?
No, 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 no.
No.
Because drowning is not my preferred way to die.
And don't forget, you're in full metal armor. That and running water does not necessarily mix.
Fair point. So, anyway, can we assume these people are probably with the threads since there's a contraband right there?
Nope.
It could be anybody.
I mean,
Uh,
And the
insert
contraband-
nameless cult here.
And the contraband was a good hour ago.
right. Very well. Let's get ready.
All right.
Maybe
I
they'll
would
just let us pass by, huh? That'd be funny.
I would
No, no,
suggest
no.
let's go sheathed with weapons so that way they don't perceive us as being on the offensive. So maybe if they are just doing other stuff, they won't attack us if we don't look like we're attacking them. If not, we can always be ready.
Wait. I need to go first.
Why?
Because we're in Minrathis. I am the only one of you that looks like a mage.
Right.
You can be my, hired well,
Yeah.
not hired, but enslaved heavy, and my personal hype man.
Fine. Oh, great master, will you please go ahead of us? We do
No,
not
but
deserve you. We do not deserve your
that
presence.
Please, my
but
lord, lead the way for us, our gracious leader.
if anything happens, either Jubal or myself will talk. In most cases, because he is clearly a herald of some sort. Go ahead, Jubal, and come up with whatever within reason my fake name and all the titles you wish to give me.
In my defense, I wasn't planning to talk. I just wanted to mess with you before we get over there. My
You
great
know
lord.
what? That's fair.
Mm-hmm.
I have earned this.
Mm-hmm.
Let's move forward.
Look how he graciously steps ahead of us. Oh, that is a true Tevinter mage.
And
I-
I will, instead of slinging my loot, I'm going to carry it as if I'm ready to start to break into song at any time because that's part of my job as being his herald and personal bard.
And with that, we're going to take the break for the evening.
Oh no.
Mm-hmm.
And we're going to
Guess
come
what?
back and see what happens when y'all took the road more traveled.
Nice.
Oh no.
So, we'll see you in a little bit. Everybody stretch, bio, refresh, all of those good things, and we'll be right back.
Okay.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back. We hope you're refreshed, stretched, bio, did all of those good things, and are ready to see what they find on the path to the right. So, we're leading with Claudius in front. Remind the audience what Claudius looks like.
Again, he's in this well-tailored, like leather coat, suit sort of combination. Uh, Distinctly meant to act as a mild form of protection. Uh, he's wearing leather and polished bronze gauntlets. Very nice and fancy. He has a staff that is not to standard height, but has inset in it on each of its four rectangular faces at the top, a black sapphire.
Mhm.
And he himself is probably rocking some 7 o'clock shadow at this point. And even with the aid of blessed waitress, probably has bags under his eyes.
Fair, fair, fair. All of these things are true and probably important. However, as you make your way down this tunnel to the right, it's a little bit like there's this large open cavern where there was a bridge at some point, suspension over across to the far side, 30 feet across. There's and wall on both sides, so you have to kind of backtrack like 10 feet where this cut to the right exists. You kind of can go down, you go back to that path. That's the path you heard the sounds, murmurs of High Tavine in, away from the sound of running water. As you make your way down, you are a bright, shining light still, correct?
Oh, yes.
Mm-hmm. And, question. Could you roll me a communication?
Certainly.
And if you have any foci in any of your other skills about, let's say, Tevinter culture.
Yeah.
This is, going to be what perception,
17.
Not bad.
Nice.
Can I get the same thing from the other two? But
Communication?
Important. Communication, and if you have a skill, a focus in anything related to Tevinter history or culture in any of your abilities, then you can add that.
My ability to perform like I'm playing this role, would that pull in here or not?
I would say yes. That would work.
All right. I've got a solid 8.
16, 17, and an 8. It's a good thing you only have to be skulking and imposing in the background.
Yeah.
But it looks all the world like a rising Latus and his entourage are moving through the catacombs of Minrathis for some reason. And as you make your way down this side passage, it's another 10, 15 feet until there's a sharp curve to the right and then to the left. And as you come around that left again, now forcing 90 degrees, you see another kind of wooden built out of the very rickety bridge across the same chasm. And there are 4 figures standing on your side of it, and another 2 figures standing on the other side. The 2 of the 4 on your side are individuals who, very similar to Arthas, are in heavy plate, large shield, big swords, There's an individual who is in a long, intricate robes. Just looking at them, you don't even have to roll. Screams Altus. Kind of gesticulating loudly and shouting at the person, at one of the two figures on the other side of the bridge. The person that they are shouting at is another very obvious mage, although perhaps not necessarily as high ranked. Their robes are not quite as intricately, although there's a similar design aesthetic. Maybe they use a similar, both in fashion, one might say, for Hightown, but, one is a little bit more intricately embroidered than the other. Maybe a symbol of rank at the circle. I wouldn't know. I never attended. But, they also have an individual who very obviously is fulfilling their bodyguard position. But they are shouting in High Tavine, in a very clipped and high-class accent. Do any of you speak High Tavine?
Let me check.
Just
you
enter
should
to
also-
venture and trade.
Yeah, you
I
all
speak to
Tavine
Vin
and
tra-
trade.
Yeah.
Right, you all speak Tavine and trade.
Yep.
I believe so, yes.
So you kind of understand what he's basically shouting about. The specifics are a little off. It's not, the general gist is this was supposed to have already been done. Why is it not done? This is taking too long. And as you come around the corner, one of his two heavy plate male individuals turns towards you and points a sword. Identify yourselves.
Put that away, or I'm going to bury the both of you.
Do you not recognize that this is the mighty Jephthah the Joabite, inflictor and healer of all pain? We need to get to our destination so he can perform the rites that is required for him to do upon the remains of his trainer and mentor, which is required of his services every 10 year, and we are approaching that date. We request that you let us pass by while you handle all of this squabble that you have going on right now.
Cool. Roll me up communication, persuasion, whatever skill set you want to use here. Hawk.
Well, I'm performing my butt off here with this.
Perform away.
13.
13. And your previous DC, your previous communication presentation rolls did lower the DC for this. Well, let's be honest, he's not the brightest tool in the shed. His job is to hit things. And he kind of looks disoriented as he kind of pulls back and looks to the other guy with the shield. He's like, Jawbite? Jawbite? What the fuck's a Jawbite?
Look, you obviously are here not for your skill of mind, but of arms, and have, to my disdain, not have been properly trained in the arts of communication. Just step aside. I might be even able to aid in whatever it is that your masters are squabbling over, with just a little bit of exertion. Please do not make me exert myself in burying the two of you.
And the younger of the two, the very obviously younger, the armor is, they're both broad-shouldered and wear this heavy armor, and they're fully covered mail helms. But they, there's just that little bit of read that everyone can get of like this armor doesn't quite sit perfectly yet on this younger figure, and he's the one that kind of scoots back, and he's like, sir, sir, Master Daenerys, sir, sir, what is it? Oh. And he kind of just turns and looks you up and down. And Claudius,
Yeah.
you are presented well. You are moving well. But what you're wearing is not Altus.
Oh no, it's most certainly not. Because I actually have a sense of fashion.
Dorian will remember this.
Dorian has bought things from Antiva. He understands.
This is also true.
There are some things that you can only get tailored by hands that know actually how to complement the male figure.
Yeah, and they have the best leather workers in the world. It's canon, by the way.
Besides, these pants make my ass look good.
I, as the narrator, have no comment or knowledge on the appearance of any of the PCs in the game. However, there is always the possibility that Antivan leathers make everybody's ass look better. But as we move this figure, Master Daenerys, as he has been called, you can hear, like, his bodyguard is very obviously not quiet. And the fourth figure on this side of the bridge has been silent the entire time. Arthas, it does not take a lot for you to recognize an elven slave secretary, right?
Mm-hmm.
Not always the best position that anyone, that choice of high level access and better treatment until a blood mage needs a sacrifice.
Yep.
Right? Like that fine line.
Yeah. I mean, the retirement package is very poor.
The worst. The
Yeah.
absolute worst.
Yep.
Now rephrase that. It has been 5 years since the 8 years since the Inquisition was founded. It is not the worst retirement package. That is now currently known to belong to the Venatori.
Ah.
But this is the second worst retirement package, right? Like, this is the second worst. You turn and you see the Magister, Altus definitely, but more than likely a Magister, look you up and down, and you are
Running late. Do you just need someone to make it so that this is traversable?
well, I'm sure we could find a use for you in some manner.
I'm just passing through. I need to get onto the other side, and it is clear that creation magic is something that is desperately lacking.
There's a raised eyebrow and like the slightest hint of a smirk. This is not a man for whom subtlety was invented. But let me rephrase that. He's a magister. There is no subtlety in that entire class of people. Right? Dorian, bless him, is the personification of a magister.
Yeah, but subtlety is not in the same zip code as Dorian.
No. Or any magister for that matter. They don't need it. They don't use it. It's about the magic and the heaviness of it. And he kind of smirks and is like, well, since you can't complete your task, he kind of loudly projects across the chasm, we'll let the latest show off a little.
I will use shape of stone, and let's Okay.
A
That's
20,
a 20 with 4 stunt points.
Oh,
to 20
wow.
with 4 stun points. Before we get into the depiction of you're shaping this stone, I want to know what Jubal and Arthas are doing while this happens.
I am standing by his side just in case. I'm not trying to do anything outwardly, like I'm going to attack or anything, but, I'm ready for anything.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And Jubal is standing there holding his loot. He's obviously looking around, making it look like I'm taking note of everything because this is all going to make a quite interesting song to play at the next tavern we go to.
And Pope, remember, you do have some stun points. You can decrease the level of the mana cost if you want to.
Yeah, I'm just looking at the options
Yeah.
here because this is I got 4 points.
Or you can just show off and make it an opposing spell.
Um,
Imposing spell. Just cuz.
well, actually, what I will do
Hmm.
is um, it's already to a degree permanent, but I can probably make this even more durable by using lasting spell.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so yeah, the if there's any temporariness to this bridge, it has twice the duration. And yeah, I will spend. Well, it's a creation spell, so I automatically reduce it by 1.
Mhm.
And you know what? Just in case, uh, I'll use the residual magics to increase my armor rating until next turn, in case things go awry.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Um, so yeah. So this will be even with the reduction by what you've described. This is going to be 8 mana,
Oof.
but it is a solid bridge.
Mhm.
Yep. I would even let you reduce it by a further 2
Okay.
because there's already the beginnings of a
No, I want to pass this off better. I will continue spending the 8 just to make it look better.
Hmm.
I will allow that if you
Mm-hmm.
roll well. Oh no, you did roll. You're fine.
Yeah.
You rolled a 20. You can make it look better than the schmuck on the other side of the thing.
Did you really
Yeah.
need to add the gargoyles?
They're not gargoyles. They're snakes. They're always open.
Oh,
not
right.
a
It,
snake.
it
It's
really.
it's
The
It's
snakes were
been
necessary.
yes, aesthetics are everything.
Yes. It has to have that look and feel. Plus, it gives me an extra verse I can throw in the next song I write.
All right. All right.
So there, we can both go forth, and we don't have to worry about your help.
I am mildly impressed. You actually have some value. If you survive whatever task it is that you are being sent on. And he kind of snaps his fingers and gestures, and his secretary produces a small business card. I look forward to speaking with you in the future about further advances in public works.
If my lord grants me the leave, it will be my pleasure.
Hmm. You can see the name on it is Denarius.
Okay.
You have a lore for Teventer, right?
Mm-hmm.
You can use cunning of some sort.
19.
19.
3
hold on.
stunt points.
19 3
Ooh.
stun points. Jubal, you
Mhm.
also, because you are a bard, could roll cunning of some sort.
Okay.
If you have any focuses in like Tevinter lore or
I don't at this
politics
time, no.
or
No,
anything like that.
not yet.
Okay.
13 with 3 stunt points.
Jubal, the name Denarius sounds familiar,
Mm-hmm.
but you can't quite place it. It's there in the back of your mind, and it's one of those things you go, it will come to me. I have to figure this out. It's important. Why is this important? It's not getting to me. Claudius.
Mm-hmm.
Daenerys is supposed to be dead.
Um,
An escaped slave very publicly murdered him in Kirkwall 10 years ago.
I would like to use the stunt, the object of my attention.
Mm-hmm.
And I would like to use a cunning empathy test on this supposed Daenerys.
Mm-hmm. What is he supposed to roll?
This is just me. Again, this is more you saying the DC. This is me getting a read on him,
Mm-hmm.
like emotionally, contextually.
Mm-hmm.
So this +1, so 16 with 1 stunt point.
With a 16, I'll let you ask 3 questions.
Is this genuinely Denarius?
That's a difficult question to ask. Everyone around him is acting like it is. And the public expression of this card that he is willingly handing over with no hesitation says that it is.
Does he show clear signs of possession?
Better question. Well, he definitely shows that there's a little off. He's not an abomination. Well, I mean, he could be an abomination. But there's nothing obviously like growths on his head or anything. He hasn't, turned into a pride demon yet. But there's just something off. Including like his pallor. Like there's a half second of not even that much, like a heartbeat of moment of reaction being slightly behind. Like a delay.
Okay. In that case, am I sensing the influence of blood magic on this body?
God, yes, it's all over.
Okay.
You want to be more particular with that? I will let you ask an additional question if you want to be more particular about that.
I don't need to be more particular about that. I just need the absolute confirmation.
There are multiple types of blood magic where you're standing, right? Like that's if you want to be more. I will give you an extra question if you want to be more.
No, I know what to say to him.
Mm-hmm.
My good lord, it is clear to my adept's eye that the sympathies of the sacrifices that you are using are substandard as things.
Ooh.
This is not something that I can fix immediately, but it is something that if you do give me time and my lord gives me leave to do so, I may be able to rectify.
So, that's a communication.
Mm-hmm. Yay, deception.
There you go. That was going to be what I was going to ask.
Oh no, that's bad.
No.
That's a 9. That was low. But hey, it was worth a shot.
I mean,
It was worth a shot.
Mm-hmm.
There's a pause, a beat. I hate the smart ones. Kill them!
Here we go.
Can I use the stunt points that I've got right now that I rolled
Well-
from that, or is it too late?
What would you like to do with them?
As soon as he says that, I want to use my ability, my stunt bonus of being more adept at finding weak spots in your opponent's armor. Can do pierce armor stunt for 1 instead of 2.
No, because you didn't roll an attack.
Okay, because I haven't rolled an attack yet, so and
Yeah.
I'd have to get it off of this attack, off of an attack. Okay,
You'd have to get that.
all right.
But first,
That's why there's the
initiative.
separation between combat
Yeah.
stunts and exploration stunts. If you
And-
had an exploration stunt you wanted to use or
Mhm.
something like that, I would have let you
Yeah.
do it. But that's a combat stunt. You haven't.
Yeah,
rolled an
and I
attack.
can't use backstab yet either.
Nope.
For same reasons, right?
For same
okay.
reasons.
Okay, just making sure.
But now we get combat.
Deception test.
Yay.
It has failed. Time for dexterity test.
Yes.
I got 8.
Don't worry, guys.
Ah.
I've got this. 12. Not bad.
Okay.
Same as me.
2 12s and an 8.
Two
Yep,
12s
it's
and an 8. Cool.
It's going to be great, guys.
I have 6 people to roll for. So give me a sec. Okay, so
Again,
these-
it,
these
it's
are
just-
the full plate guys. All right, we're gonna just do these all
Okay.
as one.
Mm-hmm.
9. All right, and then our poor secretary. 10. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
and then our our mage number 1,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
who's on the other side. So he's 30 feet away from you, and the Denarius standing right here. But unfortunately for you, he's a little bit more put together ish for a 15.
Nice. Nice. Nice.
All right, so looking at this, we have Denarius. 14 is other mage. Then we've got the 12s, right?
Yep.
Mhm.
So
Mhm.
Jubal and Arthas.
Mm-hmm.
I'll let you switch back and forth depending on what you want to do,
Okay.
because you're
Okay.
going on the same initiative count. And given the way Dragon Age works, it's easier just do it that way. Then poor secretary.
Mhm.
And then our 3 armored buddies. And then with an 8 is Claudius, bringing up the rear.
Mm-hmm.
Nice. Nice.
Healer goes last.
I mean, it makes sense. All right, so Denarius. He gets to go first. I feel like this is sorry. There we go.
Nice. Nice.
Better change of music. Denarius is going to, well, first of all, cast on himself the joy of an arcane shield.
As you do.
But he also has an advantage. Do. For 24. With 5 stun points.
Hmm.
Oh, yeah, that's right. He can do that. He can taunt with 5 stun points.
Mm-hmm.
It's what stunts are on page 140, right?
Mm-hmm.
There we go. Right?
No, they're spread throughout. Like the 130s are the non-combat ones. The magic ones are at like the start of the magic section.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then the combat ones are at the start of this basic combat section.
This is why I thought I had the quick start guide open, but apparently I didn't. It's okay. I can fix that. There we go.
It even still, they like to spread their information through other PDFs, and it is the worst thing about Green Ronin Press.
Yep. Yep. All right. So taunt. Why can I not find taunt? Yes, I see that you're using all of this. I love that everybody's favorite stunt is taunt, but why can I not find the definition of what taunt is? Green Ronin Press. Please. For the love of everything holy. Here we go. Oh, yeah. So it's a willpower self-discipline test against you, as Arthas, as he turns to you and says, and make sure you hit the knife ear first. I might use him.
Oh, you son of a...
Yeah, I'm
You
sorry.
Okay, willpower? Okay.
Willpower self-discipline against his communication deception.
No. I am pissed. That's an 8.
Oh, yeah, his communication starts higher than that.
Yeah.
I mean, he could botch this, but
We'll find out.
no.
Okay, well, yeah.
So you take a -1 to you take a -1 to here we go. -1 penalty on attack rolls and casting rolls on your next turn.
So casting in what?
Attack rolls.
Okay,
-1.
great. That's great.
And he has an arcane shield with... Oh, he's got a baller arcane shield. Don't even try and hit him. Sorry. 54. Okay, so, yeah. Sorry about that. No, I'm not. Okay, so go from there. All right, so that's his turn. Then we get the other mage on the other side, who, is just going to fire a arcane lance at... And we'll make a determination. Oh, a 20. At, 1 is Pope, 2 is Hawkeye, 3 is, Jesus.
Okay.
3! So it's
Great.
an arcane lance.
Everyone's hitting the knife here.
Yep. Sucks to
Yep.
be you.
Yep.
Trying to remember what the damage on that is. It's 3d6?
No. For an arcane lance, I think it's like 1d6 plus.
Yeah,
It's
it's
1d6 plus. It's 1d6 plus his magic rating.
Yeah, it's 1d6 plus his magic rating, which is 5 plus his specialization, so... plus actually 6 because he gets a bonus for being a blood mage.
Great.
For 10!
My armor is 10. I take it like a champ.
Doesn't get through your...
Now I'm just pissed.
Yep.
He
Jubal
scuffed the
and
paint.
Arthas, it is your turn.
Arthas, I would recommend letting me go first because I can do something that's going to help you.
Please go, my friend.
All right, so for my minor action, I'm going to get ready to aim with one of the throwing daggers that I have hidden on my body. For the next one, for my major action, as a bard, I'm going to go into a Song of Valor, which is going to give any of my allies around me within 12 yards +1 bonus on their attacks.
Nice.
Which is going to negate his -1 for being taunted. Okay.
Thank you.
All right. So, Arthas.
So
flat roll.
he will start singing as he gets himself in position, ready to throw some daggers around.
Yep.
Nice. All right. You said so. It's 3 armored dudes, right? Are they close to each other?
So there are 2 that are on this side of the bridge, 1 on the other side of the bridge, and the 2 that are
Okay.
close to each other are in front of you, between you and Daenerys, and technically between you and well, no, they're not between you and Claudius, but Claudius did move up to the side of the chasm.
Okay.
Yes.
Then I am going to distract the 2 by hitting them a lot. All right. So I am going to go just bum rush one of them and going to attack with my sword. I also, because that was a major action, a minor action, I'm going to activate. I'm a spirit warrior. You guys see as spirits green and blue go around me, which gives me +1 defense against magic and magical attacks.
Cool. Okay.
Okay, so that's a 14 plus his valor is 15 to hit.
15.
Oh, and stunt points. Sweet.
Yes, as long as you hit.
As long as I hit. Do I
yeah.
hit?
Where is this? Hold on. You do hit.
Sweet. So first off, I'm gonna do damage. One second. That's 12 damage.
Ooh, just barely gets through his armor.
Lovely. Then I am going to do. Actually, I'm gonna do that. I am going to, since I'm warrior, I'm going to do dual strike, which is down to 3 for me, so that I can attack the next guy with the same damage, with the same attack roll, which is 15.
Yeah, so it will hit.
And I'm gonna hit him again, him specifically, for 14.
Okay, so you've hit both of them, just kind of sweeping through as you knock their shields just up enough to go out through their at their knee level.
Yep.
Sweep across.
Yep.
All right. Is there anything else you would like to do on your turn, sir?
That's all I can do.
All right. It is now the secretary's turn. He can't do anything because of reasons. He's stuck.
Yep.
But the 2 guys that you just hit are pissed
Fair.
and would like to hit you back. Please and thank you.
I mean, I get it.
And they are. Oh, yeah. Here we go. So they both. One swings with the bastard sword high, and the other one's gonna swing low. For you. For a 17
That one hits.
and a 16.
That one also hits. Great. I love this. This is great. We should do this more often.
Yeah, I mean, and they're kind of dual wielding against you, so, you know. For 18 damage.
Ooh.
That's a crit. Oh, and he had stunt points. So he's going to use the disarm stunt.
Shit.
I know, isn't it great?
It's not. It's not. I just want you to know it's not great.
Yep. With, so you need to make another attack roll.
Okay.
And
Oh no. So 11 because of the +1. So that's something.
versus
That's
his
a 20.
21. It doesn't generate stunt points. It's just a straight opposed test. And your sword is now. Hold, please. Knocked 7 meters from your hand.
Jesus.
So you take 16 or 18 points of damage on the first attack, and your sword is thrown away.
Okay.
And the second attack that came in against you is another 12 points of damage.
Down to 2. Okay. Okay.
So that's their turn. The guy on the other side is going to reposition so that he can stand in front of his mage with a big sword, with a big shield.
Mhm.
And basically he's preparing a defense in case somebody attacks that
Mhm.
mage. Claudius!
We're going to attempt some casting first.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that succeeds. Target number was a 15 for heroic defense on Athras. So you may be disarmed, but for at least the next 3 rounds, you get a +5 bonus to defense and +2 to your armor rating.
Okay.
It is one of the best things
Okay.
for creation spells.
So 2 to my defense and 2 to my armor rating. I love it.
3.
5 to your defense,
Fuck.
2 to your armor rating.
Okay, I'm down.
It is one of the harder to cast heroic spells.
And you said it's just for 1 round or just
2
1 round?
rounds.
2
and then
rounds.
Afterwards, if I want to maintain it, it costs me 4 MP.
That is perfect.
But
Thank
for
you.
right now, that costs me 8.
Okay.
Okay, so you...
That was my major action.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to attempt to now activate my minor action.
Mm-hmm.
23. I go into summoning stance. As I am a spirit mage.
Yep, spirit mages are badass.
So, yeah, no, the fade just gets a little bit thinner. The wisps might get a little bit brighter. And that's my turn.
That's about right.
Cool. So it's back to the top of the round and Denarius, who doesn't like you. At all.
Well, of course. I'm a spirit mage. He's a blood mage.
Yeah, pretty much. So he is going to cast at the spirit mage, who is the only thing that he views as a threat in the moment. Right? Like,
Yeah, until the tank actually becomes a Sherman.
yeah, but for right this second, it's not.
No, right now it's a French tank. But
Yes. Eventually it will be a Sherman, but it is not yet a Sherman. Unfortunately for the tank. Here we go. Okay, there we go. Oh, yes, okay. So he reaches out negligently, and as you all watch, a cut appears on the secretary that's standing next to him.
Of course.
Yeah, because why is he going to be a good... and he's going... Cast. Spell succeeds.
Of course it does.
And casts Rack on the Spirit Mage.
Okay.
You see giant tendrils of blood and ichor start to wrap, an entropic energy wrap around the Blood Mage, or wrap around the Blood Mage, and then come shooting out of the staff in his hand towards Claudius, and then wrap around Claudius. You must make a willpower self-discipline test against that 20.
Okay. We'll make an attempt. Okay, I fail by 2.
Yeah, so you don't get any stunt points because you failed. You are now racked with pain.
Okay.
And suffer a -3 penalty to all tests while it persists.
Okie dokie.
Though you do not take any damage from the spell.
That is fine.
So that's Denarius' turn. The other mage sees that the tank is currently unarmed and says, "You know what I would like? I'm gonna hit that thing with the fiery bolt."
That's nice.
You know,
If he can hit it.
if he can hit it. But
Yep.
he would like to, but...
Yep.
I just gave the tank 5 defense.
5 plus. I also have additional 1 because I'm a spirit mage.
Yeah, it's a 14, but so he does not.
Yeah.
Yeah, that shot goes wide.
Yep.
Shot goes wide. It's
Mhm.
gives off. There's a distortion in the air. Something
Mhm.
happens. Jubal and Arthas, you are
Okay.
up.
You want to go first this time,
Sure.
Arthas?
So I see my sword 7 meters away.
Yep.
I see these two schmucks in front of me. How
Yep.
close is the chasm?
About 10 feet, 15 feet. Right, because they came up to you at the entrance of the
right.
passage. Denarius is closer, but you have to get by the two.
Okay. So I was
Meat
thinking of maybe
shields.
trying to throw them out. That's 15 feet. Is way too far. So instead, I'm going to look at him awkwardly and go for my sword because I need my sword.
One of them's going to make a swing at you
Fair.
as you go. As a reaction. For a 20.
Miss. Oh, wait. Nope. Hits because it's not a magical attack. Lucky son of a bitch.
And
Does that include the +5 on your defense?
That includes my original defense was 15,
Okay.
so that's another 9 points of slashing damage.
which does nothing to me.
Yeah, it goes through your. It doesn't go through your armor.
Yep.
But you can go, and it will be a major action. It's a minor action to move, and a major action to pick up the weapon.
Done and done.
Right. Jubal.
All right. Am I very far away from Denarius?
You're within 15 feet, but you're on the other side of two meat shields.
Okay, the meat shields are between?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, then. I will, as I continue...
They have one job. That is the only
Okay.
thing that they have to
I'll
do.
just... Okay, what? That just means I slightly change what I'm going to do here. And I'm there doing my singing of my Song of Valor, and as I make this big sweeping movement with my arms, I reach up in sleep, pull a dagger out, and I'm going to throw it at Denarius.
Cool.
Because he is within 12 yards of me, correct?
Yes, he is within 12 yards.
All right. And hopefully, if I can get some stunt points, I can do some other fun stuff. But anyway, I'm going to throw my dagger. I would like, if that hits.
It doesn't. Well, it doesn't.
It doesn't.
No, because he's got a big red glowing shield around him.
I misread the number I was looking at. Never mind. I thought I saw a different number there for some reason.
Sorry. The 10 does not get anywhere near through the arcane shield. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Okay. For some reason, when I looked at it, I thought I saw 20. It's like, oh, okay, I can do something. But okay,
No,
but no, it's a 10. Okay.
a 20 would have been close, but he rolled a 24 to cast the arcane shield.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
He is hard to hit.
So
Yep.
right
Okay.
now he is very hard to hit. Like a 10 would have hit if he didn't have an arcane shield. And a 20 would have been a lot closer, but at the moment he's got a bleeding arcane shield around him.
All right, then for my
That's your major action, and then
that'd
you
be
have a
my
minor.
major. For my minor, I think what I will do is I don't know if I can do this or not, so I want to ask you to make sure if this falls in. I would like to use prepare in order to set myself up for the next round to try to backstab one of these two meat shields.
So backstab will work as long as you can get in an attack in.
Right.
So,
But it says I have to catch them unawares or from an
Yeah.
unexpected direction and all that. So I want to
Yeah, I
get
will-
myself. I want to prepare myself to get myself in a position where I can do that.
So this is less about prepare and more about move.
Okay.
So you're repositioning yourself to
Yeah.
be in a position.
So if move. So what that is, then I'm doing that. Yeah.
Yeah, so that makes more sense as your minor action. Makes total
Okay.
sense. There we
Sounds
go.
good.
The secretary doesn't get to do anything, continues to bleed. The two guys who are attempting to stab Arthas reposition themselves, and one is going to swing at the bard who just threw a knife at their, protectee. Their big swords. It's a 19.
Just hits by 6.
for 15 damage.
Ouch!
Don't forget, armor reduces down. You know, if you have armor, it reduces.
Okay, so that, okay, hang on. So that 31, I said, hang on.
Mhm.
Okay, all right, got it.
And then the second guy is going to reposition himself and swing at the shiny spirit mage, because you were the person that we were told to kill first.
Fair enough.
And they're not abandoning their protectee to go 7 meters away where the heavy meat shield is. For a 16 to hit.
16 will hit.
Fuck.
For 14 damage.
Okay.
And the other guy is still readying an action to defend. And Claudius, you are up.
Okie dokie. So let's see what happens. All right. I'm not healing just yet, but I am going to cast heroic offense on our giant tank.
Very useful spell.
Gain +1 strength for the rest of this encounter.
Nice.
Also, that's 6 stunt points in
Mhm.
magic.
Yes, it is. You can fast cast.
No. I'm going to split spell.
Ooh, even better.
So both the bard and the tank get +1 strength for the rest of the encounter.
Nice.
And that leaves me with 2. So I will.
I mean, I would use skillful casting, but that's just me.
I'm not seeing skillful casting on this list.
Skillful casting, you reduce the mana cost of this spell by 1.
Okay.
Which is 2 stun points.
Actually, I'm going to give myself arcane, considering that hit arcane armor of 2
Nah, that
on
works
top
too.
of my normal armor.
That works.
So I go from an armor of 4 to an armor of 6 until the end of the next turn.
Okay.
And because I've got a good amount of mana.
Oh, wait,
So-
I have a very important question.
Mhm.
Did that include the -3?
Actually, it's -2 thanks to my wisp, and yeah, because the DC is only 11.
The wisp
Okay.
wouldn't affect the blood magic spell.
No, it gives me a +1 spell power.
Okay, it gives you a +1 spell power, and so that test is a -3. Okay,
Mhm.
but you
So
still,
it's -2,
so it's
and
-2.
and I'm still got 15 -2. That's 13.
Yeah, so you're still good. Cool. Cool. Denarius is up. Must I do everything myself? So he's going to take a moment and draw a little bit more on his unfortunate meat bag, blood bag. I'm so sorry, but you know.
You can only do that so long, because eventually they run out.
Yeah, but you know, it just means that he has an additional thing to cast, and he's going to cast.
Oh, come on.
Oh, for crying out loud.
Hey, not every initiation goes well.
No, nope. He rolls a 25 on blood wound, which makes you make the blood of all of the enemies within 12 yards boil, causing excruciating pain. So all 3 of you need to make a Constitution stamina test against that 25.
It's a good thing I've got a stamina bonus.
I got a 15.
I can't beat
13.
a 25. I got 13.
Look, it's possible. It's possible.
No, it's not. that would be a 20 at my max. If I rolled 3 6s.
If you had a high enough constitution, it could have, but you know.
Mm.
So you all failed. You may only take a minor action on your next turn.
Mhm.
Okay.
And you all take 7, because I rolled like shit, points of magic penetrating damage.
Okay.
Okay. Now I put all 3 dots in mage armor, which so I can have my
Half.
half.
You get half. So
So
you get 5.
only 2 damage for me. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Perfect. Or wait. Yes.
So that's Daenerys. The mage on
3
the
damage.
other side is going to attempt to roll against the shiny spirit mage, because, you know, you're a spirit mage and we hate you. Sorry.
Yeah, that's fine.
For an arcane lance of a 19
That
with 5 stun
definitely
points.
hits.
Mm-hmm.
And he's going to use mighty spell to up the damage.
Okay.
For 12 points of magic damage from this arcane lance.
Okay.
Jubal, Arthas.
We can only take minor actions.
You can only take minor actions this turn.
Mm-hmm.
And Claudius is still racked with pain.
Mm-hmm. Well, then I'm going to take my minor action to move back to where those 2 dudes are.
Cool. Move. Cool. Now you're in melee with them again.
Yep.
Jubal.
Let's see. I think that only thing I can do right now is to, since I can't do anything else, just get myself more prepared to try to do a backstab on one of these guards here, because I really can't do anything else.
You're gonna ready an action then.
Yeah.
You're getting ready, so all right.
Yeah.
Cool. The secretary continues to bleed. The 2, as you move back up, Arthas, one of the big swingy dudes is gonna try and hit you.
Mm-hmm.
For a 16.
Miss.
And the other one's gonna swing at you too. For an
Miss.
18. There we go. Both swinging and missing.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Claudius, your turn. You have a -3 penalty still.
Yeah, and I can only do minor actions, and it's a free action to maintain that heroic defense spell, so I'll spend the 4 mana.
Yeah, maintaining spells is great.
And then I'm going to make my way towards the one big guy and the one mage that keeps trying to hurt me.
He's on the other side of the bridge.
Yeah, I'm going to try and move my movement across the bridge.
Cool.
I have a movement of 13, so
You get halfway.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Because who we need to meet is on that side.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. Daenerys is you know, as Claudius is still racked with pain and suffering from this, is going to look at the big meat shield in front of him and go, I'm sure your blood will be quite tasty. I have quite a fan of it. And is going to attempt. You may defend against this, sir, with a Constitution Stamina against his 13. He rolled like shit.
All right, I contest, and I get a +1 because of my Spirit Warrior, making a 16.
Cool. So he does not cause you to hemorrhage out of all of your orifices.
Yeah, and I get a stun point, which I don't think helps me in this case. It's more of a defense, right?
Yeah, you wouldn't. You
okay.
don't. It's
Just
a
want to be sure.
defense.
All right.
So that is his major action, and he's going to move slightly to reposition himself away from the very edge, but still behind his meat shields.
Okay.
The mage on the other side sees you coming, Claudius, and would like you to not be there, so is going to fire an arcane lance at you for a 16.
Hits.
But he doesn't get any stun points this time, so... For 8
Okay.
damage. The secretary continues to bleed. No, it's Jubal and Arthas' turn.
Yeah, I'm gonna take a throw next and hit the secretary. I don't want him to keep using him as a battery.
Go ahead.
All right. Whoop. That is a 16 to hit with 6 stun points.
The answer is yes.
Oh. So first off, well, first I'm gonna roll damage for this throwing axe just to see what happens. That's a 9.
Mm-hmm.
Is
Actually, remember your strength's one higher.
I already raised. Yeah, I added modified that already.
Awesome.
Okay. Is he down?
No, it's only 9. It's only 9 points of damage.
Okay.
He's still
That-
up. He's
okay.
bleeding more though.
Yeah. That's nice. I feel almost bad for this guy. Then I'm gonna do lethal blow. You inflicted a extra 2d6 damage on your attack.
So roll 2d6.
Yep. Eight.
He's still standing, but now he's bleeding a whole lot more.
Okay, and then I'm going to one more stuff. I'm gonna do stay aware. Let me just do the test. I need a difficulty 11 perception.
Mm-hmm.
No, never mind. I got a 10.
Okay. Good to know. Is that the end of your turn?
That's the end of my turn.
Cool. Secretary.
Uh,
Oh no, it's Jubal. Sorry.
Yeah. All right. I am going to finally attempt a backstab on one of these two guards here.
Yeah, you just need to make an attack, and then the backstab is like your sneak attack damage.
Yeah. Okay. I wanted to make sure what order to do this in. So
The backstab isn't really an extra attack; it's just extra damage.
oh, for Pete's sake.
No, that didn't roll right.
That's...
What?
It didn't add your dexterity,
Oh.
and it didn't add your bonus for small blades.
No.
You should have a +2 focus for +2 for small blades, and whatever your dex is.
Okay. So
So that's 10 plus
so
whatever.
that should be +5 then.
So 15.
So 15.
15.
So you're attacking one of the meat shields.
Yes.
You will hit.
All right. And I would like to invoke backstab on this to try to get the...
Yeah, it's an
Extra
extra damage.
bonus and stuff.
You're gonna get it kind of automatically, sort of.
Okay, so the extra... Oh yeah, let's see. The attack was with +2 there. Okay, so I need to roll an extra d6 then. Okay.
Well, no, you have to roll the general damage for the dagger.
Yeah.
And then an additional d6 for that.
Right.
So 5 plus 1. So you stab, but you kind of scrape against the back of his breastplate. You can hear it kind of that high-pitched nails on a chalkboard sound, the dagger moving across. Is there anything else you'd like to do on your turn?
Let's see. Then I think for minor action, if possible, probably try to move up the bridge along with Claudius.
Okay, so one of the meat shells is going to swing at you because
Okay.
you are literally up in his business. It's a 17.
Yeah, that will hit.
For 12 points of damage.
Okay.
Again, armor reduction
Yeah.
reduces.
Okay.
All right. Is that the end of your turn?
That ends my turn.
Cool. The secretary. I need to roll a d100. Continues to bleed.
Mm-hmm. Why would you need to roll 100 though? I'm curious about that.
Reasons.
Okay.
And the two, Arthas, you're still on this side of the.
Yep.
You have not attempted to cross the bridge.
I've not crossed now. I'm keeping these two occupied.
So, attack number 1 is an 18.
Miss.
Attack number 2 is a 16.
Miss.
Cool. They both miss at you. And the heavily armored individual is now pointing a sword at Claudius, but not approaching on the bridge. Claudius.
Am I still racked?
Yes.
Okay.
He can keep that going indefinitely.
Well, we're going to just try.
As you're
and
suffering pain across this bridge.
I'm going to continue moving to the other side of the bridge.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to cast Standard Heal, which is successful.
Okay, so this counts the -3?
It's -2 for me, and so that, again, DC's 10.
Oh, yeah, you're fine.
I'll spend 3 MP.
Mm-hmm.
So we're on 3d6. Jubal gets 12 back.
And now you're on the other side of the bridge.
Yep.
Cool. Good to know. Denarius just kind of twists his hand and pulls and continues the rack spell on you, and then is going to attempt to cast Hemorrhage on the tank again.
All right. And that's Constitution?
Constitution Stamina against a 19.
All right, this +1. 18.
18. No.
Fuck.
So, I'm sorry about this.
No, you're not.
No, I'm not.
At least we're honest.
I'm mostly honest.
Mm-hmm.
For 23 points of magic damage, which goes through armor.
Is it penetrating so I can have it, or is it
It's
just...
penetrating.
Okay, so it's halved for me.
Mm-hmm.
But still.
As blood begins to hemorrhage out of all of your visible orifices.
Mm-hmm.
And out of curiosity. Oh, he didn't get any stunt points. Sucks.
Oh, that sucks.
Oh, poor thing.
I mean, there's a lot of things that happen if he had stun points on that spell.
Mm-hmm.
Just saying.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. So you begin to bleed significantly.
Okay.
And he gets to... Cool. Just do that. The mage on the other side sees Claudius is now on this side, and Claudius is currently racked with pain and wishes to make his life easier now that you're up close and personal. And attempt hemorrhage on you.
Okay.
You all fit. So the 16 he
beats me.
succeeds. For 21 points of magic
Jesus
penetrating
Christ.
damage.
Oy.
Okay.
As you... wait, did I... Oh, I didn't get any stun points again. As you continue to bleed out of all of your visible orifices. So you're racked with pain, bleeding profusely.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
That's cool.
That's Jubal and Arthas.
So
Go ahead, Arthas.
at this point, this is like this is just us poking each other back and forth because of our massive amounts of armor.
Yep.
So I am going to attempt to throw one of them at Daenerys. Pick him up and just throw him, or just push him into Daenerys.
Okay, so you want to make an attack that causes that.
Yeah.
to
So
knock
strength.
down.
Yes.
So you have to make an attack and then hope you get stun points to knock down.
Okay. So let's do it. I believe in myself. Bam. Yes.
Boom.
Woohoo!
That's a lot, and you will hit.
Well, first let's do that damage. Sweet, sweet damage. That's only 10. That sucks.
Yeah, it doesn't get through his armor.
Okay, but let's check out those stunts I can do. Combat stunts.
So you want knockback? Is what you're talking.
Knockback.
Knock prone.
Knock
or,
prone.
Yeah.
Knock prone. Okay, yeah, I'm gonna knock him prone, which would cost 2, leaving me 3. Let's see here. Then for funsies, I'm also gonna do lightning attack, which allows me to attack again on the same guy.
Cool.
So let me attack again. 12, which I'm assuming does not hit.
Hold on, I just scrolled
Sure.
away from him. So
Sure.
you know, sorry, I'm going back and forth between.
No, I got you.
All right, so.
Actually, no, because he's knocked prone, I get a +1, so it's 13.
Yeah, 13 will hit.
Okay, then I'm gonna hit him with my bastard sword again. 15 damage.
Oof, that will get through his armor though.
Yeah.
Okay, so 15, and he's prone. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. So he's prone. And
Okay.
it takes his minor action and to get up from prone.
Yep. But Jubal, my friend, that's all up to you.
All right. I would like to do on the guy holding the shield protecting the mage.
Mm-hmm.
I want to try to execute bluff
Mm-hmm.
on him, so I want to make it my minor action to deceive him. I want to make it look like to him that I'm charging up with the dagger in hand to go after the mage.
Okay.
But I want to bluff him to think I'm doing that, but instead be able to get around him and stab him instead. And if I can pull off the bluff, then do the backstab on him
Okay.
as he holds the shield.
Yep.
So I need to roll communication versus their willpower.
Mm-hmm.
And performance will not apply here, correct?
No.
Because this isn't performance. This is something totally different.
Yep.
Yeah. I'm just making sure I'm interpreting correctly.
He rolled very well and got a 15.
Ah.
It would have worked really well, but he
Yeah.
just rolled
It was
better.
worth. I figured it was worth a try to see if I could get it to pull off.
Yep. So the bluff doesn't work. He repositions himself to take that blow
Okay.
and defend himself. So.
And do I still have my major action, or was that both of these combined? Because the deceive attempt is a minor action.
The deceive attempt is a minor action, and
Yeah.
So you still have your major action.
All right, I will just go ahead and try to stab him anyway.
Mhm.
Maybe I've knocked him off balance for when he was doing everything else. Let's see.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
All right, I would like.
Stun points. Oof.
All right, this is what I would like to do.
Yep.
Because of my abilities here, because I have a stunt bonus that lets me do pierce armor for 1 point instead of 2, I
Mhm.
want to do a combination of pierce armor and lethal blow.
Yes, and yeah. I'm just also gonna say that pierce armor, lethal blow, and you would still, I think, mathematically have 2 left over. That if you wanted, you could disarm him.
Sounds good?
I'm just saying.
Yeah. Let's do the whole thing.
Is my math on that right? Yeah.
Well, I'm trying. Well, I've got 6 points.
Yeah.
Lethal blow is actually 5 points,
Oh, lethal blow is 5. Never mind.
and pierce armor I get for 1, so that's my total
Yeah,
of 6.
so that's the full 6.
So that's your 6. I did the wrong
Yeah,
math
no problem.
on.
No problem. It sounded great, but it's like, okay, wait a minute.
No, I did the math wrong on,
had to double
on
check the
lethal
math,
blow.
so.
I forgot I was having lethal blow at 3, and then I was
All
like,
right,
you should
so
have 2.
His armor rating then is going to be halved round down.
Yep.
So let me roll for all the damage here.
Mm-hmm.
So 3 for the initial strike,
Yep.
and then another 2d6 for the additional stuff.
Yep.
4 for an additional 7.
7 and 3
So
is
10.
10.
7 and 3 is 10.
Ooh, that you do stab him.
Is that including no, because that daggers are dex weapons.
Yeah, daggers are
Strength.
dex bonus.
Yeah.
And it included that to begin with. What is your?
Mhm.
Yeah.
No, it doesn't look like it.
Oh well, it doesn't include it for the damage. The damage for a dagger is 1d6 plus 1.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wait, you don't add your dexterity bonus to?
Not to the
daggers?
damage, no, just
Oh.
for the attack.
Just for the
Oh.
attack. It's like
Oh.
swords. There's a sword isn't always added strength.
Well, I thought it added your strength bonus to the attack
Yeah, it
damage.
states that strength gets added.
Yeah,
for
you
most
add your strength
weapons.
bonus to the attack.
Your strength does, but your dex doesn't always.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah. My strength is 2, so I don't know if that would
Mhm.
add anything anyway. So
No, it would be a dex.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hold on. Everybody, we always make sure we double check everything.
Mhm.
Roll your weapons damage and add your strength ability. Yeah. So if it is a thrown or ranged attack, the attack is made with dex, but the damage is
Still with strength.
no, you add perception instead of
Oh,
strength.
okay.
Oh, okay.
That's where it becomes.
Ah.
It's why archers need to have both high dex and high perception.
And high perception.
Mhm.
I see. Okay. Okay. Good to know.
So if
But
if my perception is 2,
It would
So
be
that'd
1d6
2 more
plus
points.
2.
So it'd be 2 more points of damage.
okay, so that would make it 12.
Yeah. Okay. So 12. So he got
And
6.
his armor's halved.
Yeah.
So
So we got 6 points of damage gets through as you kind of find a chink in
Mhm.
the chainmail between the plate, which isn't,
Yeah.
and just kind of stab
Mhm.
underneath the raised arm.
Probably the army has upholding the shield. I'm able to get him right in there.
Yeah,
Mhm.
exactly. All right. So I was like, I knew there was a reason why ranged weapons do not use strength. All right. So, it
Fix that
is
for the next one.
the secretary's turn, right?
Yep.
Mhm.
Need to roll a 1d100.
What? Why is there a smile there? I don't know why there's a smile. I don't
She's humming. That's not always a good sign.
know. Not a
that's
shame.
usually a bad sign.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
The secretary starts to walk towards Arthas, makes his full movement to Arthas.
Okay.
Arthas,
Mm-hmm.
I need you to make a dex-based roll with whatever focus you've got.
Now, is the thing I'm going to be affected by magical in nature?
Yes.
Well, this gives me a +1 against whatever this is then.
Spirit Warrior is nice for that.
Yep. Bam. So that is a 12.
Cool. Unfortunately, you fail.
Mm-hmm.
You needed a 15.
Ooh.
Okay.
Hi, you hurt him,
Mm-hmm.
which means that the walking bomb goes off. But I rolled like shit, so you only take 20 points of
Now-
penetrating damage
Question.
as he explodes.
Question.
Yes.
I'm also near the two other dudes, aren't I?
Yeah.
So they're also affected?
No, because they have something that you don't.
Fuck. Thankfully, I only take 10 because of my ability, but still, ow.
Yeah, it's what happens when a blood mage detonates its sacrifice.
Great.
And the reason that the two meat shields aren't affected is literally because of the shield.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You know, that arcane, shiny red thing that he still has on himself.
Mm-hmm. That have also affected them because fuck me.
Yeah.
Yep.
I
Okay.
mean, they're wearing a lot of red. It's a color
Okay.
choice for them.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm going to kill them a lot. All right, let's move on from there.
So that's the secretary. He's done. Sorry about that. And then the two guys are gonna swing at you.
Yep. One of them's still knocked prone. Just remember that.
Yes, one is knocked prone. So this is the guy making the first attack, and it's a major action for him.
Miss.
The other guy to get up, so he gets up and is now preparing to make an attack against you, but he is can't do so because it's to getting up from prone is a major action.
Okay. Okay. That
all right.
happened.
That happened, and Claudius.
All right, here goes nothing. Attempting group heal. That is with the penalty already calculated. It goes off.
Cool.
Nice.
You are still racked with pain, but at least you're not bleeding.
Yep.
I will spend 9 NP, and our entire team heals the next roll. Oh, come on, roleplay.
Eight.
Everybody heals 8.
Woo.
There you go.
Yeah.
Okay.
Is there anything else you would like to do on your turn, Claudius?
Yeah, I'm going to keep moving now that I'm on the opposite side of the bridge, further into where we were supposed to be going.
Cool. Roll me a perception check.
Awesome.
Because you have the shiny, shiny light, and you're
14.
14. Does that include the -3
No, so it'll be 11.
and 11? There is light in the tunnel moving
Okay.
towards you.
Yep.
Okay.
So, no, I'm not gonna say anything else. It's my turn.
Well, no, it's Daenerys' turn.
I know, but when it's my turn, I'm gonna say something if I survive it.
Yep. Cool.
I'm trying.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, you are. It's fine. It's fine.
No, it isn't.
So. Hey, you are bleeding out of your orifices, Arthas, aren't you?
Last time oh, son of a bitch! No. No.
Hey, guess what?
What?
You're gonna need to make a willpower self-discipline test against this.
Okay. This +1. That's a 12.
And he rolled a 20.
Okay.
Oof.
Hey, Arthas. You feel a haze come across your brain.
Mm-hmm.
And your mind. You are now under the control of Denarius. And he would like you to end that spirit mage.
I am significantly ahead of him.
Yeah, I know. He's sending.
Mm-hmm.
You have to take a full round of your full movement plus your minor action and a major action to move.
Mm-hmm.
After that spirit mage.
Okay, so I'm just gonna throw something out there to Claudius. Claudius, you know that Arthurus would rather be dead than to be under the control of another blood mage. And there is a bridge that could collapse at any moment.
You're thinking I'm thinking of a bridge. This entire place is underground.
Okay. That said, as I'm charging in that direction.
I would like you to know that it does take a shit ton to do this, but when the Blood Mage can get all 3 steps in a row happen, Blood Slave is a very useful spell.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Arthurus, would Jubal know that as well?
I'm gonna assume yes.
Okay.
So yes, you have to take on your turn. You're going to take both your minor and your major action to get across the bridge.
Okay, I'm doing that.
The other mage, realizing how close Claudius is, is slightly disconcerting, and is going to realize that he doesn't have a shield up at the moment, so he's gonna do something about that. And it helps if I type in Roll20. I mean, the spell goes off. Barely.
What?
There's a very minimal shield around. Cool. That's his action. Arthas, you are running.
Yep.
Jubal.
All right.
Oh, and at the end of your turn, you can make a new test to try and resist, Arthas.
Oh, so let me try that.
Go ahead and do that first. That'll
And is this it's still going to be versus his 20 that he rolled?
Yeah, unfortunately.
So,
Hold on.
Oh.
Yeah, it's against the initial roll, not any.
So it's just an 18.
Which is getting better.
Yeah.
Why did that do that? Sorry, y'all. Zoom decided to be interesting and do weird things.
Okay.
There we go. I fixed it.
Okay, perfect.
Okay. You know, not bad.
Yeah,
actually,
so
it's
close.
Still close. And actually, wait. Do you have a focus in discipline, or self-discipline?
No, I do not.
I thought you got that as a spirit mage. Okay, or as a
Did I?
As a spirit guardian? No. Okay.
Let me confirm, but I don't think I did.
Because I know Templars get it, and I thought both of you.
So it might be a Templar thing.
That's a Templar thing.
Yeah, it's a Templar thing. Okay.
All right. Cool. Jubal.
All right.
Arthas is now running with a sword drawn across the bridge.
Can I tell by the path he's taking that he's not coming to help me, but he's headed towards Claudius?
Well, he's going
by the path he's taking.
What is your movement speed, Arthas?
My movement speed is 1 second. Wrong.
And this is modified by armor, because even if you take the entire armor tree, it doesn't increase your speed.
Oh, that's true. That's true. Okay, so this be my speed -3 then, right? Or no, wait, -5 because of my heavy plate.
Yeah.
So
your speed +5.
My speed is 7.
So he's only to the halfway point of the bridge. At this point, there's no way to determine why he's coming. You know what he's doing across the bridge.
But I will say I am sword out screaming. Although in the direction of where the spirit mage is. Now, is there a question? Blood Slave, is there any noticeable like effect on the person to know?
No, because you're still bleeding out of all of your orifices.
Fuck, that's correct. Yeah.
So I'm gonna do this under the impression that I can't tell that he's under any control. That he may just be in a rage, joining us. As
I mean, can you roll to the mix to see, look at the fact that these two dudes behind?
Could I do a perception roll to see if I could?
I would let you do a perception empathy roll on him.
Okay.
The DC is going to be higher because of just the environment.
I expect that.
And I will tell you, make your roll. I'll tell you what you know.
Okay.
So with a 16, he's bleeding profusely and he's running. He looks to be disoriented. And when I say he's bleeding out of all of his orifices, he's bleeding from his eyes, he's bleeding from his
eyes, nose, ears, mouth.
So
heads, shoulders,
pores,
knees and toes.
Skin pores that I can see.
Yeah, he's fully bleeding. So you might be concerned that he's disoriented, right? At this point, he doesn't seem a threat to you in this moment, but he definitely seems disoriented and not necessarily operating at his full ability.
Yeah. So right now, I really can't. I really don't have enough to tell at this point that he's under anyone's control. He just may be in like battle rage right now,
Mhm.
for lack of anything else. From what that's what I figured I could see. So all right,
Mhm.
what I'll be doing then is I'm going to be moving backward,
Mhm.
unslinging my loot, and I'm going to shoot at the guard I just did the backstab on.
Cool. Go ahead and make that roll.
Right. There's a 13 hit.
Just barely.
Okay. Then I would like to do lethal blow on him again.
Okay. Go ahead. Roll that extra 2d6 of damage.
So 2d6 for the initial damage. Hopefully this one's better.
2d. It should be 2d6 plus 2, so it should be 5 damage.
Okay, 5 and 4, so that'll be 9.
No, 2. You lethal
No.
blow is lethal.
Oh
blow
wait a
is-
minute, I got another one. So okay,
Yeah.
so 5,
8, 10.
8, 10.
10,
Yeah,
10 points of damage.
10 points of damage.
That just gets through the armor. That is his armor, so
Mm-hmm.
that's what happens when he wears heavy plate. All right,
Yeah.
so the secretary is gone. The 3 armored dudes are still around. Armored dude number 1 on the far side of the bridge, who's next to Claudius, is going to take a swing at Claudius.
Okay.
Finally, because you're here. For a 14.
Just hits.
Darn it.
It hits. Roll your damage.
10. 10
10.
points of damage. Sorry, roll 20 was being slow.
Mm-hmm.
All good. Still up.
Cool, that's good, that's good.
Mhm.
The 2 guys on the near side don't currently have any targets, so they're gonna...
Wait, I'm like partially down the hallway past the bridge. Did he run after me?
Oh, you had gone that way?
Yeah.
Further
he did.
in, yeah.
Yeah,
I
okay,
got
then,
further
then
in.
we're gonna redact that whole thing. I'm sorry. I thought you had just looked down the hallway, not actually
No,
gone down the
I
hallway.
was moving. I moved. Used
Yeah.
my full 13.
Yeah, no, sorry. In that case, no, he's repositioned himself against the guys who are currently coming that he can see. Redact, return, rewind,
Rewind.
My bad.
Okay,
restart.
rewind.
All right, so he is repositioned to be a defense for this other mage. So he's not going to do anything. Claudius, roll me another perception as a free action first,
Cool.
as you're down the hall.
That's an 8.
The light is getting brighter, and you
Okay.
can tell that immediately that it is torchlight, and whatever is moving with it is not. Sorry, I saw movement. Like, you know how when like the light changes and something moves over here, and you're like, there is no one else in the damn house, so there shouldn't be any movement over here.
Time for ghost.
I'm like, okay. But there is somebody moving quickly towards you. As you move, you look up, you can see armor, torch, and a big helm moving quickly towards you. Does not look like the rest of the
It's not the rest of the Guardians, but I don't recognize this individual.
no. You don't recognize them, but it definitely doesn't have matching armor as the people that you've been encountered.
Fair enough.
Your turn.
Yeah, I really feel bad about this one.
Mm-hmm.
I
Don't-
turn around. We're gonna try some magic.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have a lot of mana left,
Mm-hmm.
but we'll see if this works. And that's with the penalty. That's a 15. I will spend the 6. Gravity says fuck you.
I love creation magic.
I'm just going to go and like reach out as a creation mage and just go, and splat. I will spend every last bit of mana I have left.
Who are you splatting?
Everyone that is on that bridge or near it.
Oh no. Oh wait, I'm on it. Fuck. No.
Jubal, are you on the bridge?
No, I've crossed it because I'm battling the shield bearer. I was and I moved back further from that towards Claudius in order
Yeah.
to shoot my crossbow
Mm-hmm.
better.
Mm-hmm.
I have 21 mana left. Goodbye, 21 mana.
Mm-hmm.
I will get to 0.
Mm-hmm.
I'm assuming that destroys the bridge.
That is
Oh, it's going to destroy the bridge. It might destroy everyone else. But the question
6
is...
cubic yards of mass for
Yep.
each mana point.
Ooh.
At 6.
That's a lot of cubic feet.
Oh my god.
Yards, not feet. Yards.
Yards, yeah, cubic yards. So
Jesus.
That's a lot. Here's the
Creation Mage says fuck off.
So here's where we get the interesting question that we're going to ask. I want a roll from Claudius. Another free perception. You kind of, it's one of those, we're going to go with narratively. You look down the tunnel coming towards you, you see this figure in armor with a torch running, and you look back to cast the spell.
Got a 7 because of Rack.
Yeah, so Vrak is a bitch. All you see is Arthas running towards you. You do not notice anything else other than the fact he's bleeding.
I don't care. At this point, I'm the one with the package. That's all that matters.
Yep.
Yep.
Bye.
Mhm.
you will make a great ballad, Arthas.
Yeah.
I will write one in your honor.
All right, so go ahead and all right. So the spell goes off. You're spending the mana to pull the whole thing down. The entire cavern is going to crush downwards. I need Arthas to make me a roll.
Okay. What type of roll am I making?
This is where things get fun.
Mm-hmm.
And this is where we're going to step back, everybody. We're going to step back because Arthas, you are something unique.
Mm-hmm.
You are a spirit warrior. You will be crushed under this entire cavern collapsing. But you called your spirit defender to you. So, as the rocks begin to fall, the bridge begins to collapse. Arthas, the floor falls out from under you. You feel the moment Daenerys is crushed under the weight of all of that rock, because your mind is now your own again. And for a moment, as you fall, because that would happen first, the bridge will collapse before you become crushed. Gravity is a bitch, and no one can escape it. But your spirit is with you. So, as you're bleeding out, your mind free, I need you to make me a D100 roll. Call of Cthulhu rules in this house, gentlemen.
Yep.
69. Nice.
Oh, that is the opposite of what you needed, but is the right way for this character to go.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know that you are going to be as happy.
Okay.
You had 3 options with this roll.
Mm-hmm.
Oh no.
Option number 1, spirit helps guide you and you fall into the water. That would have been if you rolled under a 30. That's not going to happen. Option number 2, well, technically 3, if you'd rolled over 75, well, you would have, had just long enough to scream as you fell and were crushed by the rocks below.
Oh no.
But that sweet spot in the middle. Arthas, you have a spirit with you. And there's so much blood magic here. And now what used to be Arthas in control is now a spirit in control of Arthas.
Lovely.
So I need a dex roll. Whichever focus you have, and you can add 2, because we want to see if your spirit, who is now in control of your body, manages in any way, shape, or form to save you.
Dexterity?
Mm-hmm.
All right. 11.
Plus 2.
So 13?
13.
So with a 13, you crash into the water. But it's distant. You know you should be struggling to breathe and to gather in all of the water, fighting against drowning, but you're not in control. And suddenly your body doesn't need to breathe right. And Arthas is carried by the current along the water. We'll come back to where Arthas, or at least what people believe is Arthas, in a near moment. Jubal. The ceiling is collapsing. The bridge is collapsing. The chasm is collapsing. Claudius looks fucked.
Yeah, I should probably tell you. My max hit points is 57. I'm at 16.
Yeah, he's bleeding. He's bleeding, and he's exhausted as he just did this. Arthas has fallen into the chasm below. You're pretty sure he's fucked.
Yeah. I can presume he's lost because he's buried under all that rock.
Well, that is just, it's a long way down, right? Like it's, he's maybe not achieved terminal velocity, but
Arthas is super elven, but he's not that super elven.
Yeah, exactly.
So I would probably be going right to Claudius to try to help getting him up to his feet and to help us to keep progressing on. And I presume at this point, then it's when I see the incoming torches appear.
Yes, there are 2 of them. One of them is being carried by a small red-headed dwarf with a couple marks, face tattoos. The other is a 6.5-foot tall human. And Jubal, you are from Tevinter. And you look up, and the immediate thought you have is, oh, that's a scruffy-haired Ferelden. With a big motherfucking stick.
I hand the package off to Jubal as I'm going to... I spent all my mana, and with how much damage, and the rack spell probably just now releasing.
Yeah, exactly. You're currently no longer in pain.
Yeah, but also the adrenaline is probably quickly wearing off as I've spent all the mana. The mission is all that matters, and I'm going to pass out now.
Yeah, I'll take the package, and I will, not necessarily calmly, but quickly walk up with the package towards the guy with the stick.
So as you do so, he kind of acknowledges you, nods, gestures to his small red-headed dwarf friend, and he takes this, what you can now see as a pike, and he's 6.5 feet tall, and the pike itself is like long, And he spins it around, and between one beat and the next, the mage who's still alive, the second mage, right, like the one on the
Mhm.
near side, is still alive and was turning towards you. He steps forward, and you feel the magic stop as he turns and drives the pike forward and then flips the mage off the side of the chasm, and then spins the pike to turn towards the last guy who's there, with the moment of the red-headed dwarf just with dual daggers in the clavicle where you had already opened, and
Mhm.
just kind of like hanging from the back of the neck as the body falls. So we should go. As she kind of like turns to looks at the two of you. Bastion, you should carry him. And hi. I'm Mavia.
I believe this package
Oh, I don't
is
touch
for
anything.
you.
I don't touch anything. He does that.
Okay.
Hi. We should go.
I think that's a good idea. Yes.
I don't like this. We're running. And Bastion, why are you not running? Like, pick him up and run. We're running. So we're going to fast forward as you run out of the catacombs, away from the still crashing stone behind you. Bastion carrying Claudius over his shoulder. Claudius will eventually, you have that moment of like disorientation as you realize that you're in a fireman's carry.
Yeah, I like to think this is the classic early 90s Saturday morning cartoon in and out of consciousness while being carried.
Yep.
Yep. Yes. And because of reasons that are apparent to certain people, you have this brief, like, how those in and out of consciousness moment thoughts just kind of go through your head, and you just random stream of consciousness thoughts. You realize that whoever's carrying you has a really nice ass. But
that's great. I will also I fell out of consciousness while conjuring spirits. Have fun with them.
Yep. I know. That's why we're going to go around, because you conjure spirits. You have wisps. But they're spirits, not demons. And at the moment, they are a guide in the dark. The paths are lit as you move through. Tevinter is, well, at least the catacombs in Manrathus, for the moment, brighter. You both feel better as you emerge out of one of the other sides of the catacombs at a dock that you realize is on the far side of the thread market. The threads have their own dock. But Bastion is kind and is attempting to care for Claudius. Mavia is special, wonderful, delightful. She is also a bard, and she immediately clocks your lute, Jubal, and starts asking about, so, do you know about the mage with his stick? The mage's staff, do you know that song?
Let's see. I know. I guess, which variation are you referring to?
The mage's staff has a knob in the end. I know all 17 verses.
Oh, you've got all 17. Do you know the 18th verse that's from the more southern provinces?
18th verse. We should do a duet. And she kind of is like, game recognizes game. I know some people. We should do work on that. Bastion, is he still alive? And yes. Cool. Give him the thing and then we can go.
And I'll take the package and hand it to Bastion then.
And then Bastion will hand you what amounts to basically a file, like an attaché case, a locked file document of some sort, heavily warded. You can see the small symbol of the Inquisition is on it, but also another symbol is on it. A sword with holy light around it. Do you know anything about political affiliations in the South? Not in Tevinter or Northern Thedas, but in Southern Thedas.
Only what he would hear in conversations with others or over here in taverns while he's performing or stuff like that.
Okay,
Nothing special.
So you probably would recognize this symbol. It's the symbol of the Southern Templars. You know, that Mage Templar War was a big problem. Just a huge problem for everybody around. So he will attempt to do. Oh, he has a focus in that. That's even better. Cool. It's gonna suck, but oh, he has a focus in it. 9 +1 for reasons that have to do with your spirits and what he is. So that's a 10 to treat Claudius's wounds so he is no longer actively bleeding. It's not like a heal spell, so you don't really get hit points back, but you're not dying. And we're going to fast forward as Bastion will take the package. He and Mavia will make their polite excuses and separate from you. Mavia,
I will reach in a scroll carrier that I always carry with me that's got that verse that she doesn't know and give her the lyrics to it. The lyrics.
Mavia will take it, wink, and like reach into one of Bastion's pockets and pull out another piece of paper. It's like, because I always think that people should share more information and more songs. So here you go. And it is a Ferelden drinking song. With the notations about how to change it to insult other political figures, local political figures, like where the meter would need to be, what the meter needs to be, all these kind of things.
Yeah. The proper key changes in court augmentations.
Exactly. And the two of them will get on a boat at this dock and leave out because they were only here to pick up a package. It just so happened that there was a very loud fight where they were supposed to meet somebody to pick up a package. So they started running. Claudius, after a round, because you wasted all of your mana, we are out of combat, you are now recovered. I think it's like you recover like 4 mana in a half hour or something.
Something like that.
Yeah. It's almost like Witcher level of recovery action, but not quite. So you're conscious and not bleeding. You also have a piece of paper in your hand.
Okay, what does it say?
It's a small note. It says, "You're hot for a mage. Sucks about bleeding. If you ever want any additional conversations about your knob on the end of your staff." Also, Iron Bull would totally be into you. Mavia.
I was better off unconscious.
But the two of you can make your way back to the safe house for the shadow dragons.
Yeah, I would probably have my arm around his shoulder to try to keep him
Like,
braced a little bit since he's
you're
more
using
battered than I am.
the staff, like, essentially as a partial crutch.
Yeah.
But as we're going to pan away from the two of you as you make your way back to your report, and we're going to go to Arthas, washed up on one of the small beaches around Minrathis, one of the many smuggler beaches around Minrathis and Docktown. You awaken, and you are in control. But there's a voice in your head now, Arthas. I need you to roll me a d6. Yeah, when you guys told me you were playing a spirit mage and a spirit warrior, did I prepare for this shit? Yes, I did.
1d6. 5.
So, Arthas, you hear a voice in your head go, "We don't die."
Who's we?
Determination. And that's where we end tonight.
Out of every spirit, determination's a good one.
Yeah.
Look, there was a possibility for there being a spirit of compassion, also a spirit of justice.
Okay.
But
Yeah,
you ended up
but-
with determination.
Great.
Okay.
We have inadvertently created.
The reason Zara Renata will be torturing a crow in about 4 years.
Mm-hmm.
Great.
We've created a monster.
Oh no.
No.
You-
We did a whole lot more than create a monster. We have created Thetis's first version of Venom.
No, because I not only am an ultra powerful tank, but now I have a spirit inside me that's like, whoa, will never let me die. Yes.
Not only that, but you can, as a spirit warrior, be in full communion while possessed.
Yes. Yes.
Yep. And eventually, Arthas will make his way back to the Shadow Dragon's hideout.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll leave a pin into whether or not he shares his new status.
No.
Ooh. Can I get a communication deception, sir? Because there's someone in this building
Uh-huh.
who might notice. Well, there are a bunch of mages here who might notice.
12. Shit. Okay.
A gentleman in a tricorn hat looks at you askance,
Oh.
Arthas.
He's wearing a mask, isn't he?
Yeah. Veil, kind of.
Mm-hmm.
Fuck.
Given the
Uh-oh.
given who he is and what he actually is,
Mm-hmm.
why don't we have dinner, Arthas? You and me and Quinn.
Sure. Why the interest?
I think we just need to talk about some things that happened when you fell off that bridge.
No. True. Fair enough. Although, I just want you to know that as of right now, I'm someone determined to make sure the Shadow Dragons succeed.
It's always good to have determination and strength. Just don't want to become spiteful in your determination.
Fair.
Come to dinner. I promise
Yep.
I'll have plans for that and not. And you hear Tarquin in the background going, "What? Fish is great. Fried fish is great."
I was already just escaped. This memories of fish poking me is like, oh no, not fish, not again.
But that's where we're going to end for tonight.
Yes.
Um, and there were things that could have happened, and it did. I was here for all of it. Thank you,
Yeah.
everybody, for being here. Thank you. We went a little bit late. I apologize for how, but you guys were doing a good job. So we're gonna go around, let everybody share who they are, share some love, joy, something that you really enjoyed tonight, and I'll do my spiel at the end. So why don't we start with Jesus?
Hey guys, Jesus again. Again, you can find me as Arvanis on most things. You can find me on the Fanable podcast where we've played role-playing games for over 15 years, and also the YouTube channel called Arvanis where we go over the lore of various, various lore of war games because I'm that type of nerd. And one thing I've really, really loved, really, really loved, is at the end I've become Dragon Age Venom, and the horrors I will inflict upon my enemies shall be grand.
I mean, sure. It's not, well, maybe. Okay, that's what's happening. Okay. Fix that. That's a possibility. Thank you for that. Hey, Hawkeye. How are we doing?
Hey, doing well. Had a great time with this. Give a little love to Pope here for keeping us alive because I was down to about 4 or 5 points of health at one point in all of that. So glad to have survived long enough to make the package delivery and learn some new music along the way, which he'll be learning to do. So you can catch me when I'm not here on this channel for the next 2 weeks. After this, you can catch me on my own channel, KY Hawkeye, here on Twitch. Monday nights is family night at Hawkeye's Old Time Gaming Emporium, as my daughter Bonnie and I are that far away from 100%ing out Lego DC supervillains. We just have to clear out Wayne Manor and some other minor things so we can get all of the gold bricks and all the characters and all the vehicles and all the stuff there. Wednesday night, hopefully, if I can get Wabbitjack and the mod list to cooperate with me, I will be starting a Kentucky Hawkeye in Jarl Balgras Court, as I will be doing a role play of Skyrim Anniversary Edition, doing my Skyrim version of Connecticut Yankee and King Arthur's Court a la Mark Twain. So looking forward to being nice and anachronistic with that. And then
Love it.
I'm only a few wrestlers away from being able to restart Grappler's Keep, which is what I normally would be doing on Saturday nights. It's my WWE 2K25 universe where number characters from all of your favorite tabletop RPG genres, fantasy, post-apocalyptic, Weird Wild West, cyberpunk, a lot of those different genres like that, all compete in a ring that we lovingly call the Dice Tray. We'll be starting our next season with all fictional characters. Some of them are going to have some new looks, some new hairdos, new outfits, because unfortunately they took some of them out, so I had to make some changes. But everyone's going to be looking good and ready to go with that, hopefully in the next few weeks. If you're a GM, or if you know a forever GM who could use a custom GM screen, I make those and sell them via Etsy. You can catch me there. Otherwise, you'll catch me in here watching everyone else. Cleric by day, RPG fanboy by night.
Indeed, and share some love.
Well, gave some for Pope Early and Arthurus, just keeping everyone, all of those two fighters at bay while I was trying to backstab and trying to throw daggers and stuff like that, making it easier. Can't ask for a better battle mate in something like that. Just wish I'd been able to do something to say you guys have been kinder, and I'm hoping that I don't roll. This isn't a habit of me rolling triple ones every week.
You just put that into the air.
I mean, it is 2 weeks in a row. No. But thank you guys for being here. I appreciate it. Thank you to the audience for being here. I really appreciate it. I am your friendly neighborhood Prax. Praxgorth as before. You see me around here on Twitch. Praxbard over on Instagram, Hive, and Blue Sky. I have been doing a lot.
Oh.
Oh, and I know, I'm tagging in Pope in a second.
Okay.
I was tagging in Pope on purpose.
Okay.
I was saying all of this to say I was doing a lot. But someone who is doing a lot to carry you all, literally, but had to be carried himself. The wonderfully fabulous Pope.
Yep.
Hey everybody, Pope here. Pope World Build on the internets, primarily Blue Sky, Discord, and Start Playing Games. Mercenary GM for hire. I am not necessarily a full A team, just one member. And I am definitely ready to, as summer has fully hit, run some stuff. Also, if you want to see more of my silly face, you get a number of opportunities now, not just here with these amazing people, but if you like some urban fantasy, check out Valdrian's channel this Friday, 7 p.m. Eastern, for some Urban Shadows. We're based in Charleston, and the current name is Redmond Armstrong.
Uh-huh.
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 For those of you who know your Scottish clans, you already know so much about the character.
Yep, I do.
Face claim Graham McTavish.
There you go.
And to quote Jim Otherdock, who is the one running this, you've pissed off a lot of people. And it's going to be interesting to see, especially with that cast, because I'm going to let you in on a little secret. If you know Urban Shadows, there are 4 factions. The PCs only make up 2. And you know Jim. That gives Jim an entire sandbox of 2 factions to run wild with.
We are waiting for the moment when Jim starts talking to himself.
No. We have taken some, not all, some precautions. But yeah, there's some really weird stuff in Charleston. We're going to get to explore all of it.
I'm here for it.
I am so happy about tonight. I mean, I loved last week with the Morn Watch. I love Oswin, such a good boy, but just from the get-go, this felt even more true to the setting, to who we've seen already as the Shadow Dragons in game. Like, yes, these were the lower level guys, so these are the more rowdier, more commoner members of Mirathus doing, the low level dirty work. And as Shadow Dragons do, they got thoroughly in over their heads, and they were cocky and battled against the odds, and somehow by the skin of their teeth survived. And I don't think, as much as I am looking forward to the next 2, I don't know if we can top how close this was, both in RP and just the die rolls and everything, to being more Dragon Age.
Challenge accepted.
Now you've done it.
Yeah.
But between Arthas doing everything in his power to hold things down and being this immovable object, but at the same time that holding everything in so much attention, but
Mhm.
that still is only a finger in the dam.
Yep.
And also just Jubal, like, yes, he is solid in combat, but it is obvious this man is more of a master of words. Um, which in the games you see those people and the devastation they can do with words. Um, like a bard in the history of Dragon Age is to be respected, if not feared. Because if you're on the wrong side of the bard, you can find yourself on the wrong side of an entire town very quickly. Uh, it's not just that they're a pretty face and they're pretty good with a knife as well as a lute. Um, and then getting to start my mage run here with this group with Claudius, who uh surprised me. Like Oswin, I was very much in the driver's seat.
Mhm.
Claudius took hold of the reins from the get-go, and I was just kind of riding second. uh, so that was a whole lot of fun. I thank you all so very much for being here. We're live vlog, YouTube. The story is nothing without its audience. You're much part of this reality. Please be kind to yourselves and one another. And I look forward to seeing you all very soon.
Indeed, we're looking forward to it. Specifically, thank you all again for being here. Specifically, next week, next Sunday, 8 p.m. Eastern, we are doing our third of these faction initiations with my favorite of the factions, because I have a stereotype. It's fine. As we go to Antiva and we meet the crows.
Lovely.
And if you thought this was bloody, so as they say, the crows always complete the contract. But again, thank you to my players for being here. Thank you to the audience for being here. Thank you, all of this. And if you thought this was going to be on brand, I cannot wait to show you what we do next week. Because I've been doing a thing. And I'll see if anyone notices next week what happens. Also capes. It's important. Now I just need Edna from Incredibles and Viago, specifically Viago of House Deriva, fifth Talon of the Crows, to have an entire conversation about why capes are necessary. Or, as Edna's like, no capes, and Viago's like, of course
No
capes. Capes are necessary. Edna mode. But, so yes, I'll be back on Sunday for the Antivan Crows one shot. We will be back on, excuse me. We will be back, I will be back. I will be back tomorrow as we continue our late night, hashtag trouble in tight pants, hashtag, all of the reasons why Thetis has problems. Well, no. He's not the reasons why Thetis has problems. He's going to fix all of Thetis's problems with aggression and probably knives. We are back, and we are into the end game of our dear, dear, dear problem child as he continues to romance Emric, Dashiel Makar, Shadow Dragon, Elf, and I still want to stab a hoe. Lace Harding, I want to stab. And you just see Jesus's face is like, why? She deserves it.
Okay.
If you know, you know, but you know, but she deserves it. But we'll be
To
back
be
for
fair,
that.
she's not surviving to the end.
That's fair. It's also not wrong.
Mm-hmm.
But we will see you all for that at like 9:30 tomorrow. We'll see how far we get because we are almost to the end game. And then we'll see what else we can play because we like playing games around here and having fun. But we should see if there's anybody awake we can raid into. And unfortunately, nobody I know is up. So we're going to just say thank you all for being here. Thank you for having such a great time with us. And we'll see you next week. Bye-bye.